Some guys really like Batman, and they had an epiphany. So they all got to work on the next Batman movie. And now they are the heroes, and you get to follow along. They're bringing him to life every week after this song. Batman, Project Batman, Project Batman. Fuck yeah!
No film crit Hulk mail. Boo.
Everyone died. I think I'm actually going to talk to P. Gertz and Kazumi and see if they want to jump in on the guest read.
Okay.
For when we do the whole screenplay at the end.
That's awesome. Alright. I don't feel like introing today or talking or leading the way, but I will certainly help right. Okay, what we're here today to do is to write the finale, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And it's a big thing. I think the biggest hurdle is that we really haven't talked very much at all about what the hell Talia is doing.
Oh wait, I had an idea while I was driving around earlier, and I was afraid I'd forget, but now I'm remembering it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So you know how I didn't really like the thanks? I wasn't really sure yes or no on the thanks Alfred line after Bruce does the record time sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's just Bruce saying it. What if during the fight with the Clock King and the Alfred is like over at the back computer with the Clock King or whatever, what if when the vial comes out with the fucking solution that Talia is going to use to survive the Abaddon serum when she blows the place up and kills everybody else in there?
Mm-hmm.
What if like that's just comes out and like he just like tosses it over to Talia or whatever, something that's more obvious, like she knows it came from Alfred, and then when she blows up the factory, the audience just thinks like, holy fuck, what happened to Talia? But then at the end it shows we reveal once the smoke clears that she's drank that vial, and she says thanks Alfred, and they both have their own little moment to themselves thanking Alfred.
We could do that.
Yeah, I think that sounds cool.
I think it'd be good.
Okay. I was trying to find a way to make that moment work, and I thought if they both had it, like, people love callbacks. Whenever there's a callback in anything, people think you do a magic trick. Like, hey, I recognize that.
Okay, so we've got, at this point, the Batman just fucking throws a bunch of guards through one another.
Let's reread this.
I don't think we have to reread the whole scene.
Alright, that's fine. It's longer than I thought it was.
Okay. So,
yeah, you're right. It was just basically he just lands on top, and it's a big action sequence to get into the fortress.
and then he gets into the fortress.
Yeah. All right. So my next question to you is, Sorry, I'm coming down from being pretty stoned. Is the next scene, like, does he just walk in? Like, is that boom the action scene right before he walks in and meets with Ra's and we have some dialogue with Ra's for a few pages? Or is he coming into the fortress and there's still, like, a few, like, rooms of, like, fucking guards and fun to be had? Before?
Yeah, I think there's still just a little bit of fun to be had on the Batman side. I think how we should start this scene out, though, is we should go to Talia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We'll go ahead and intercut this.
Okay.
And so I think, and now Batman's entering the building, and let's go watch Talia go inside.
Okay. So where does she go in from?
Well, I mean, it's got to be somewhere lower on the building, because I imagine the entrance to the building that Batman goes in to be a little higher up than just ground level. Wait,
can I say something else I was thinking about earlier?
Huh.
I'm sorry. I'm actually remembering stuff I thought I'd forget. You had mentioned when the mics went off last week that you're about the line Alfred says, well, now we can't get him to tell us where Ra's is because he's dead or whatever. And Bruce is like, well, that's why I tied up Ubu. And then you were like, and I agree with you. He was like, Otto was like, but there's all those other guards that they have that are left over from that scene that they could have asked. But aren't Ubu and all those guards way more likely than the Clock King to, like, just not, like, you know, may the shadows live forever, just die for Raish and not tell them? Like, wouldn't you just assume that they're not going to tell? I don't know. What's your thought on that, either of you? Do you understand what I'm saying?
You mean, like, should the guards still be present and then just all off themselves?
I'm saying, I'm not suggesting a way to get rid of them or get them out of the Batcave. I haven't figured out that question, or the answer to that question yet. I'm saying, strictly involving that question that you asked of, like, well, why is he concerned with losing the Clock King if they have all those other guards that they could get to tell where Raish is? Isn't the Clock King more has his own agenda separate from the Society of Shadows, where he'd be more likely to, like, tell them where Raish is than any of the Shadow Guards that they have left there that are tied up or knocked out. Like, those people are willing to die for Raish. They don't want to tell him where Raish is. Mm-hmm. So, just from Alfred's perspective, wouldn't he just assume... Would that be a rational assumption that... I don't know. Do you understand what
it's a rational it's a rational assumption, but I don't think it's something that would be readily apparent right then and there. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they'd be able to figure that out after, you know, a few minutes or whatever. But yeah, I think just in the heat of the moment, that's not something they'd be really thinking about.
Yeah, we don't
much.
really want to make a line about that or anything.
Right.
Okay. Well, then when we go back through, we'll figure out that scene. Mm-hmm. I just like getting thoughts I have when I'm not anything to write down on record. Okay, so going to Talia.
Now, I'm going to guess that Talia is entering somewhere on the lower of the building. He's like I said, I'm thinking Batman because he's entering from flight. And he's taking out guard towers on the way there. So I'm guessing he's somewhere near the top of the building as opposed to just on the front where there's a door or whatever. I'm going to guess that he comes in and there's like a door sitting behind some like battlements or something. So that's where I guess he went in. And he was there mainly as a distraction so Talia could get through to the other side of the building. And so I'm guessing somewhere on the ground floor, maybe in the back or the side, maybe through some vent or something.
Has Talia been here before?
Yes.
Okay. There's just a whole lot of Lazarus pits, and they didn't get around to this one. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, no, Talia knows about this one, so...
Okay.
She always came off to me as kind of the tough bitch who's not afraid to walk in the fucking front door.
But she also isn't quite as bullet resistant as Batman is.
I figured that's why he was a distraction for everyone outside. She walked right in.
Do we just want to go from Batman entering, cut to inside the fortress somewhere, and there are like guards just like walking or whatever, and Talia just like takes out two of them real quick and like or like waits for them to walk by and then slips by. I'm like, we just go like Talia got in because Batman was distracting.
Maybe. But and see, I know it's better to let the audience figure things out for themselves than it is to just show them. But you have to do that with a grain of salt too. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, like, would it be interesting if she just knew the code to get into one of the doors? I mean,
you don't think Raish changes codes years later?
Yeah, you got a point there, but.
And it doesn't seem like it seems like all his places are like so remote that it's not like a place with like codes and stuff. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm talking out my ass, but like it's just like if people are out here, you're a shadow guard, you're with Raish. Like this is desolate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I think Raish should be a little more secure than that, though. Just even like with his own shadow guards.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just asking questions. Mm-hmm. I'm not.
No.
Things really.
But, so let's say that she's getting in through...
A window? It's just like bars, and she's just the one person that's skinny enough to slip through because they're all male shadow guards.
But see, that's harder for women though, because they get the tits.
Oh right, we did agree she has pretty big tits in this version.
No, we agreed that she has medium range, but still bars.
You know, our last episode only is 39 minutes.
What?
Yeah. Because we had recorded I had just pressed record a long time before he showed up, and I forgot about that when we looked at the time at the end.
See, I knew it was a short episode. I fucking said that.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. We got something there. So,
Plus your
okay.
pages were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, I think it might actually be interesting to note that from what I can remember of Talia's normal, just like battle outfit, she has something of a utility belt too. Like, I think it would be this is probably a stupid idea, but wouldn't it be interesting to see Talia grab something out of her utility belt and try and get something in there? I know she wears some sort of belt anyway, because it's what she keeps her gun on. But no, this is a silly idea, I think.
Where are they exactly when they land the plane when they land?
About a mile off in the snow.
About a mile off. Do we have any idea like which direction they would be facing of the building?
It's just like, imagine like you're in the foreground, and like then there's a big snowy field, and then you just see a fortress in the background. Like, just however you picture that artistically.
I have an idea. My guess was that they were in a plain somewhere in the mountains. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just like a flat spot between, like a ring of mountains or whatever.
So do you think you have
similar
some sort of door at the bottom of one of those mountains that would kind of go up?
Maybe. Or
is there like, well, there's the Abaddon plant. That's a separate part beneath this fortress. And there has to be some signifier that it's there, be it like smoke coming out of the fortress or something at some part, do you think? And
I was thinking maybe some sort of pipeline she'd be going through.
Yeah, like, well, they could have that discussion of like, that must be where the plant is making it, if like that's where some like pollution or smog or whatever is coming out.
I don't think they even need to have a discussion. Talia could be walking through back there, and she just sees, a couple of smokestacks, and she just sort of, gets that sly Talia smile, just like, oh shit, well that must be where they are.
Okay, but we're gonna see the smokestacks from far out, though, right?
At least reasonably so, yeah.
Okay.
Is there also an airfield for those planes?
Yes.
I assume that's like in front of sort of like
hangar.
a mountain, like a sort of like a, I don't know, I pictured it weird, I don't know. Like GoldenEye-esque.
Yeah, how do we have it? What if she goes in through the hangar? It's open. They just sent a plane out of it.
So that's not at the top of the fortress where Batman just went in, because that's how I pictured it.
No. I was thinking the hangar would be on the ground next to the fortress. That's something that it's something that'll be difficult to
And the hangar
get
would
into
have
a screenplay. Yeah, it's something that you'd have to go through like the storyboarding and set design.
Right. I hear you. And we could find a way to somehow logic the hangar would be near
where they have the
Abaddon.
So they could load it easier.
Yeah.
So she goes in through the hangar while all that shit's going on.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
And then, she goes towards the back and she sees a door, and then there's a couple of guards there or something.
Do we want to have?
Or no? Do we want to?
Is there gonna be like another plane there that guards just start loading with Abaddon as soon as that one goes down?
Well, there will be multiple planes there. Definitely, he's not going to have just one plane, because how the fuck is he going to get more?
Right. I was thinking she could find a clever way to like stop them on the way in, and that could be some sort of signifier as she goes in. Like maybe she didn't stop them all, and one of them signifies that like there's someone in there.
Maybe, but I don't think that they should signify that someone's in there until she's actually like in the plant.
Okay. Yeah. And they can't be to a point of where Raish is alerted.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
They just need to know, like, an intruder or something.
yeah, I think that will be apparent somewhere later during the actual fight sequence between Batman and Ra's when some sort of alarm goes off.
And that's when she puts out the fucking plant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So we're still on exterior fortress. So back at the base of the fortress. This is all pre-edited down, just writing consciously.
Wouldn't the setting be different? Just the setting would be like base of fortress or something like that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Exterior.
Well, it wouldn't need to... I don't even know if you'd need to put exterior.
Base.
Yeah, let's put exterior just for the moment. And if we're wrong later, we'll correct it.
Well, you would. Every different setting you do interior or exterior.
Well, no, because I thought I saw it when it was just like they were in a house, and it was just like they were walking from living room to kitchen or whatever during the middle of the conversation. It would just say living room and kitchen, and each time they were in a different room.
Maybe they've done that. I'm sure people have done that, but I mean, as far as I know, you're supposed to still go like interior, family house, living room, continuous, living room, house, kitchen, continuous, or something like that.
Okay, cool.
So, what do we want her? We want to show her entering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So
she slides. She like sneaks along a wall or something, trying to avoid some guards.
Oh wait, a few episodes ago, you laughed about something I hadn't seen, but we never commented on it because there was a lot more to comment on. And I'm gonna go back up to it really quick. But wait, I gotta remember exactly where it was. Oh, okay. It was a long time ago.
God, there's a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm. Alright. In the Bruce Superman scene at the fucking safety house in Mount Cheyenne in Colorado, the guards, right as Bruce is coming to enter, Guard 1 is just chatting with Guard 2 before they notice him, and Guard 1 says, "Have you seen that new BT-16? And Guard 2 says, "Yeah, some of the other guys were telling me about it. They say it's quite a thing to..." What was that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that is? What's that's in reference to?
That was a Star Wars thing, right?
Yeah, okay. I just didn't know if you knew. That's what the two guards are saying when Obi-Wan Kenobi's shutting down the tractor beam.
That's awesome.
And I just put
Yeah, no, I got it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay.
Okay.
I've been meaning to ask you that. I know it seems weird to bring up so much later, but okay. Alright. Well, so, is she gonna sneak by? We already have someone sneaking by guards like that. Do we want her to...
Where do we have that?
Where I just showed you. No, it wasn't sneaking by guards. I guess you're right.
Okay.
So do we want to have her just sneak by some to get in, or is there going to be some action there?
Yeah, I think we'll save the action until she gets into the building. Mm-hmm. And then Ra's will be too distracted to fucking care about other shit going on until like an explosion actually shakes the fucking building.
Okay. Talia approaches the hangar, sneaking in the shadows, noting a group of shadow guards standing guard. She sneaks by undetected into the fortress entrance, into the Abaddon plant entrance at the base of the fortress.
Should there be a sign over the door that says like lab or something like that, or is it too corny?
I was wondering that. I was thinking.
I mean,
about
it wouldn't
too.
say like Abaddon serum plant or something,
or
like
like
that,
have some official like toxic.
I
don't know. Maybe she could notice guys walking out in like fucking protective suits. But will they be working in those in there? Is everyone she fights going to be wearing a protective suit?
I mean, maybe at least gas masks.
Okay.
It would make sense. Because I know there's two different designs for the Shadow Guards. There was an earlier design where they were just sort of, all clad in black, pretty similar to what Talia wears normally. And then later on, they were all like fucking Spider-Man. They looked like Spider-Man. I'm not joking. In the Demon Reborn,
Yeah.
the Shadow Guards looked like Spider-Man, and they were flying on things similar to what the Green Goblin flies on.
Huh. I don't remember that.
Uh-huh.
I think we should use both just because I think the latter are kind of silly, but the fact that they exist means we kind of have to use them.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Sort of like Joss Whedon's reluctance to use the one Iron Man suit from Iron Man 2, but it was there, so he had to use it.
What are they carrying to a plane? Carrying missiles? Carrying large... Or this is where we see the things that drop in Paris up close.
Yeah.
What are they? What are they? We answer a question here, visually, without fucking audio. I love that.
Some sort of crate.
Okay.
I think that you could just carry a crate of something.
Just a bunch of dollies and crates.
Okay.
Han Solo frozen in carbonite.
Talia approaches the hangar, sneaking in the shadows. She notes a group of shadow guards exiting a doorway, wearing gas masks and carrying crates into an airship. She sneaks by, undetected, into the Abaddon plant entrance at the base of the fortress. Cool. Alright.
And then she gets downstairs.
So we're going straight to indoors to Talia still. Alright. Enter.
Stairs to lab.
We'll just keep it at base, but now it's interior.
Okay.
How soon into getting into some shit do we want her to notice the spare time belts?
Probably somewhere in the middle.
Okay. That has to be a sort of triumphant moment for her while Raish and Batman are fighting.
Okay, cool.
You think?
Yeah, what I'm thinking is that she's going around and she's managing to fuck up all the Abaddon shit, and then a guard notices her and calls a bunch of other guards over, and she's like, oh shit, and she just slams a bunch of buttons and fucking runs as they all just pull fucking MP5s like and she's like hiding behind a whole big thing of crates while they're shooting at her, and that's where you cut back to Batman. That's the end of an intercut there.
Okay. I like it.
Cool.
You can write some.
Okay, cool. So,
here. Such to have to walk down that staircase holding a bunch of crates.
yeah, but I think they'll be okay. Raish makes them do. I don't know. Maybe we should. I don't know. Should we have them carrying crates up and down stairs?
I wouldn't. I mean, do they even have to have a door? Why couldn't the hangar just eventually, at the end, open up into the lab so that way they can get in and out?
I thought we wanted the lab to be underground, though. For like, my guess was, for some sort of safety purposes, in case they needed to seal it off for something.
Why don't you just pull that shit that was like in Korra with the fucking elevator thing?
Because the issue is that she's going to be using an elevator. People are going to notice that
she
pretty
can
quick.
take the side stairs. There's side stairs.
Okay,
I don't know how else you would do it. It just
okay,
wouldn't
so maybe they came out of an elevator and there's some sort of emergency staircase.
that would kind of make sense.
Yeah, Sean came up with a good point.
What?
Are they really going to be carrying those crates of Abaddon up and down stairs where they're going to have the potential to drop them?
Probably not.
So yeah, he brought that up. I didn't even think about that. So I'm having her come up towards like an elevator. She sees them come out of a room where there's an elevator, and she follows the stairs next to those because she wouldn't want to take the elevator herself because it would be noisy and shit.
Right on.
I just had an interesting idea. I'll see if I'll tell you what it is when I type it. Okay, so she gets down to the stairs to the door to the lab and decides to enter in her code.
Okay. And
It rejects her code and sets off a fucking alarm. Or no, wait, no. No, I don't think it should set off an alarm because then that ruins the whole MP5 thing that we have later if we like.
Yeah. But I like where you're trying to go.
Yeah, no, maybe she gets to the door, enters her code, and it doesn't work. And then maybe a couple of guards show up, and she hides from them as they enter, and then she goes in after them? Or is that a little cliche?
She could sneak by some guards that are just like, patrolling, going like back and forth or up and down or whatever. She comes up to something, enters a code, it doesn't work, just rejects it, and she just tries another code. It's like, oh man, like she knows a few different codes, and she's like thinking to herself, it's one of these. And then like as she's trying, like after we've seen her try like 3 or 4, then guards just like walk up behind her, and she turns around, and there they are. I'm sorry. That's the most cartoony scenarios pop into my head first. You're here to shoot them down. I understand.
Okay. I don't know if that'll work, but I mean, we can have cartoony stuff in here because it's a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's try this. She enters a code into. So I'm at a stuck point here.
Okay.
She enters a code into a pin pad by the door, and the pin pad's display shows rejected. Looking frustrated, she looks around for some clue as to how to get in. Then what?
Okay. Problem solving. Where's Vince Gilligan?
Working on the pilot for Better Call Saul. So we'll have to do this one without him. Apparently, Sean's friend Bobby just ran into him in Richmond.
Really? Wow. Yeah. He went to UVA. He's from here.
Okay.
All right. My screenwriter and storyteller logic says right here we slip away and show what Batman's doing, and then when we cut back to Talia, we answer that question as we show her, but we still need to figure out what it is to figure out what note to leave her off on of like her next step of like this whole invasion thing.
Oh shit, I just thought of something, and this is pretty cartoony too, but I don't know if this will work. Okay, so a guard comes up and notices her, and she takes out the guard and fucking stows him somewhere and takes his mask, puts it on her, and then as another shadow guard comes up to get in, she's like, it's rejecting my code for some reason, can you get me in? And then he's like, yeah, okay. Make sure you get a new code. Or something like that. And then she's like, thanks. And then just completely slips by the dude. And the dude's just like, oh, cool. I'm the best person ever. I don't know.
I like it. I like it more than what I said. What I said left on it for, like, action. Mm-hmm. But, like, that just, like, gets her into the next place. The debate is that worth the screen time to answer the question and worth the gag? I mean, which that can be said about. I'm not being fucking high and mighty. If that can be said about everything, I'm fucking ruined that ambush sequence. So,
Sam,
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to write that, I'm down. At least for now, it gets us moving forward.
Or I'm trying to just probe my brain for some other idea.
Sean, did you bring those notes? You said you were writing down about things you wanted to see in the story. No. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Save them for when you do your pass.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
There you go. Good call.
Like, I like all these ideas that we've had, but all of them bring up something that I kind of don't like. Is that she's getting in relying on other factors as opposed to just her own wit and sort of just getting into the building on luck. I don't know if I like that. I sort of want to have her, figure something out and get into the building without, without any sort of interference from guards or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, fooling them with the mask isn't luck. That's, like, legitimately fooling them.
Though I wonder if they'll notice that there aren't very many other female shadow guards running around. I don't know if that's a thing. Which was something I thought of there, too.
There's no way with, like, their armor or whatever that she could just sort of blend in? I'm just asking.
I don't know, maybe not.
Okay.
What if she disassembles the pin pad and rewires it so the fucking door opens?
Or just punches it and it opens. And the keypad doesn't work. And then, like, a few scenes later, like, you see guards just approach the door and like, huh? And they look at the keypad and they just see that it's broken, and that's how they know someone's in there. Or you could skip showing her doing that and just show that next part.
I don't know. Trying to continue for ideas, because We're gonna have lots of ideas, and we want to pick the best one.
Yeah, definitely. And they're all going on record safely here.
Did we shoot down that idea we had, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, where we had talked about them getting like the coordinates written down on a piece of paper? Because maybe she could just think, oh, maybe that's a code, and just enter that.
Why don't we have the coordinates written down on a piece of paper?
I thought instead of just having the Shadow Guard tell them where it is, we had this idea of them writing it down and them getting that. And then
But we struck down the Shadow Guard
That's what I
telling
said.
them where it was.
That's why I said we struck that down.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's
What
it was.
about, what if, okay, we already saw her gain entry to the fortress, like, through, like, once, through that, like, fucking Abaddon, like, through the hangar. Like, what if Raish and the Shadow Guards just assume them on the outside of the perimeter is just guarded enough? Like, there's a lot of guards out there, and Batman just took out a whole lot of them. I mean, what if she's already gotten in, and, like, the entrance to the plant isn't, like, doesn't, like, require a code? And, like, we just saw her, we just showed her getting in. And then the next scene is her being in the plant. In a sense, it feels redundant, even though we could have some fun with it.
Mm-hmm. No, the one last thought that came to me would actually require editing a previous scene. What if when Ubu tells Batman, yo, Archangelisk and all that shit, what if he drops a code, too, to get into the plant to fucking ruin everything? Because, I mean, it's pretty safe bet that he would know it, being Raish's right-hand man.
That works on a story level. I just, with the drama of the moment and how I have it pictured with him just like focusing on him in that moment and him just saying that word, like adding numbers into it doesn't hold the drama to me, but it's just me being pretentious. I don't know.
Or,
like, we've already, to me, the thing we fought the whole movie to figure out is where is Raish. They figured out where Raish is, and we set up, how are we going to get in? Well, fucking Batman distracted everybody. And Batman took everybody out and distracted everyone so they could get in. Let's go in.
okay, so let's just knock out a pin pad thing at all and just leave the door unlocked?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, that's how my logic worked at that moment.
So, there is a big door with the sign above it reading lab. I think just lab works.
Yeah. That just bugged me.
Oh. That's the problem, is it, like, spell check, it only goes so far, because a lot of times, like, gas masks is a word.
Yeah.
And also, like, you could typo the to he or his to is, and it's still a word, so it won't come up.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass.
Spell check doesn't understand context.
Context.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
It doesn't understand your speech either.
Yeah.
Okay.
My speech impediment.
She enters. Now, is entering the lab, is that where we want to cut off? And
Sure.
okay, cool.
Alright, so we're going to have him fight some more dudes.
Yeah, because remember, we had that one scene that we talked about where he comes across those couple of guards there, and there was that whole little action sequence.
Right, okay. Do you want me to find that?
No, I remember what it is.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. Never mind then. Fuck you. To me, not you.
Alright. So.
I love that we finally get to type Batman again, besides Bruce.
Yeah. That's something that I did every time I was writing, was he was Batman when the mask was on, and when it came off, he was Bruce. I wonder if they do that, like, in the screenplays for the animated series. I wonder if they make that distinction there.
Well, I looked it up. We talked about it a few episodes ago, is you do it by the voice actor. If Bruce is in a situation where he's might have the mask on, but he's just talking to Talia and Alfred, who know his actual voice, you would type Bruce because he would just speak as Bruce. But since he puts a little more gruffness and vagueness into it when he's Batman, whenever he's around somebody who doesn't know his true identity, you always put Batman. So it's just to signal the voice actor. I'm glad this scene is making it in.
Because I remembered?
Well, yeah, because I didn't know we had a place for it. And I liked it when you brought it up before.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
don't know if that's a phrase. Punches him clean out.
When I edited it later, I would just I would take out unnecessary words. I would just say knocks him out.
Actually, I don't like this phrase here at all.
That's a character. The stink bug that hangs out on the base of the fly strip, just to show you how much of an asshole it is.
Now that's something. I wonder. Hold on.
That falls on me.
He might be stuck. Like he got off and then glued himself to this thing. Yeah, no, he's dead.
Damn.
He managed to get just off the sticky pad and they got stuck to the cardboard.
Yeah, it was a funny idea though.
Right? Okay, I actually do have to look up how this scene went because I remember most of it, but I don't remember the order. Where was the notes?
No. Yeah. You want the chronology or the by episode?
The chronology. The climax.
Oh, but we didn't know where this went at the time.
We know they don't went in the fortress.
Really? Oh, okay. Hold on, go down. I might have put it here after the post-climax and the...
Ideas yet to implement.
Yeah, maybe. Do you remember anything specific about it that you could control F and find?
Riot Shield? Look for Riot Shield. It was pretty early on that we had that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel it was in like the second episode.
Fight scene involving Batman and a few criminals.
There you go.
So I'm just going to read this note out loud here.
What?
Okay, fight scene involving Batman and a few criminals. This is immediately after the training sequence when Batman has given himself some new toys to play with. He's knocked out one guy with a riot shield. Batman picks it up as the other three guys are shooting at him, then disappears behind it with his cloaking device. He hurls it at one of them, knocking the guy out. The other two are freaking out. What is he, like a ghost or something? Batman is right next to him. Not yet. We see the gun pull it out of his hand and he gets smacked in the face with it and goes out cold. The cloaking device fades out and he's visible again. The last bad guy points his gun at Batman. Cut to his point of view. He's shaking, clearly terrified. With every bullet he fires, Batman moves to the side, missing him as Batman menacingly approaches him. When he's within arm's reach, the guy points his gun right at Batman's face. Batman rips it out of his hand, field strips it, and drops it to the ground at the guy's feet. The guy steps aside, holds his arms out in a welcoming way, and says, "Right this way, Mr. Batman, sir." Batman offers a polite thank you right before clubbing him in the head, knocking him out. Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
It's fun.
I like the not yet line.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm working on now. Trying to figure out how to...
Work it into his Shadow Guard scenario.
Well, no, it's right here. I'm just trying to figure out what the character name for this one guard is. It was going to be like Scared Guard or something like that. So they can't all be guard number 1 because then that's going to be confusing later on when we start casting.
Right. You could do Shadow Guard 1.
But we already have a Shadow Guard 1.
Really?
Back on the rooftop.
Do Shadow Guard 2.
Or
3 or 4. Do go from like 1 to like 27.
Curious Guard. Okay, here's what I got.
Okay.
Batman continues down a long hall. No guards seem to be around. At the end of the hall, there's a locked door which Batman just kicks down. A few more guards are here, and they attack. Batman first goes for a guard with a riot shield, ripping it out of his hands and smashing him with it. He hides behind it as the other guards open fire. He uses his stealth behind the shield, lifts it over his head, and hurls it at a few of the other guards, KOing them too. One guard cautiously steps forward with his gun, probing around. Curious guard to the remaining guard by the door. What is he, like a ghost or something? Batman from right behind him, invisible. Not yet. The gun is pulled from the guard's hand by seemingly nothing as it is swung at his head, incapacitating him. Batman uncloaks himself and walks toward the guard at the door. The guard is shaking wildly and none of his shots land. He finally gets the gun pointed at Batman's head when within arm's reach, but Batman snatches it from him and takes it apart, dropping the pieces to the floor. Scared guard, beckoning to the door. Right this way, sir. Batman clubs him. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Is that the door to the main hall?
I don't know. There's another scene that I had that I don't know if I've ever talked about that I wanted to implement, but something about Raish gassing a room with him in it.
So we don't... So that... Okay. Let me hear it.
Okay, I have to think how exactly this goes, but, you know, Batman's in a room. I guess maybe there's a couple more guards in there, maybe not. And Raish just decides, you know what, I'm going to fucking gas the room. And he punches a little thing on his Palm Pilot or whatever the fuck he's got, his iPad, and pushes the thing and it gasses the room. And Batman just pulls his rebreather or something like that, and it doesn't do anything to him because the suit is sealed. I mean, we discussed this a whole shitload of episodes ago because we discussed it in the Science of the Batsuit episode, because the suit can seal itself against all sorts of stuff. It'll work underwater. It will shield him from radiation.
What about Abaddon?
It should work against Abaddon. If it's going to work against radiation, it's going to work against Abaddon, because to seal yourself safely against radiation, especially in the sort of levels that he would encounter fighting Blight, it would need to be able to completely seal. And, you know, to work underwater and shit, I'm guessing it also works as a wetsuit. So it stands to reason that assuming he has a way to breathe through it, he can go through the Abaddon gas. And I think after that, he comes through the room that Raish just gassed and walks in, and that's when Raish makes that quip about... Because I wanted that dialogue to sort of start off with Raish making a comment on his new suit.
Okay.
That was how I envisioned that. He's like, I see you have a... I see you've built something new, or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think the gassing the room sequence would fit in there, or is the climax coming a little too... It was too superfluous, or what?
I like it because then after Raish comments on his new suit, Batman can totally just go ahead and comment on how Raish has had a change of character. Like, not only just being ready to gas Batman to death, like, right before he enters the room, but just as far as, like, how he's doing everything in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like a good lead into the conversation and basis of character regarding Batman.
Cool.
I like it.
I think Raish should be able to, like, see Batman on his way into the room, then fucking slam the doors, then gas the place.
Okay.
And Batman just busts through.
Or we don't see Raish do it, but we see Batman do it. Classic walking into the room, door slams behind him, he looks, room starts to fill with gas, and we hear Raish's voice on voiceover talking to Batman.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But didn't we just... But that takes away from the one thing that we wanted, that we had talked about for the longest time, is that they don't actually converse with each other at all until they meet face to face.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because that was something that I really liked was just just like it's like a really fine point like that. Just like in Mask of the Phantasm, when Christian brought that up, Joker shows up at exactly the halfway mark of the film.
Yeah.
Which I thought was just something you'd never really think about just watching the movie. But you're like, he's not seen or even really mentioned until that point.
Right.
And then there he is.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so as much as I like that Raish speaking over the gassing thing, I think... Because maybe that'll be just the chamber right before Batman gets in.
Yeah, and it can be a relatively quick sequence if we're not going to have any voiceover, and it can be the same thing, and just sort of Batman... We show Batman before the room fills up. He just reaches back, puts on the breather, and Raish is watching through a video screen, and like he's smiling, and the smoke clears, and then Batman's just there, like, waiting, and then Raish just sort of, like, lets him in.
I like that. Okay. So, here, though, I think is our cut where we cut back to Talia.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Because she has to start being involved in this Abaddon plant.
So where was that? Raish's Fortress, base, continuous?
Raish's Fortress, plant.
Or lab. It's a lab.
Yeah, lab.
Okay. Here, you write this.
Or I think with this we would go like...
Or is it not continuous?
Perhaps intercut? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll ask somebody.
That's a formatting thing.
Yeah, I'll ask somebody who writes scripts about it. But okay, all right. How are we gonna get her?
So Talia's
last we left Talia was she just entered the lab. So is she gonna hang in the back and like just sort of survey the thing, and we as an audience pan across a camera? But we already did that earlier in the movie.
Wait, what did we do earlier?
Just sort of reveal the plant when Ubu went down there after Raish ordered to attack more cities. Yeah. But I think she should get in there, and we need to visibly see, and not automatically know, but by the time she does it, understand that she sees something that she can sabotage it all with. Like when she enters, she has to like make a connection with like, oh, I see something. That's something I can do. Maybe we don't know what it is, but by the end of the whole sequence, like, oh, she's blowing it all up, or whatever we're doing with it.
I think at the end of this little thing is when we have all the fucking people shooting at her. Pew, 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 pew.
Okay.
Thought I just had.
Okay.
And I don't know, the thanks Alfred line, extending that just slightly to, it looks like Alfred saved both our lives tonight.
Okay, but they're saying it to themselves. Like both of them saying that?
No, like when Talia comes up, Batman will say, I don't know, I misunderstood how you had the scene. I thought they were talking to each other.
Oh no, it was a moment like to themselves, like after like, oh man, Alfred really...
So wait, they would both have that?
They both have that small, just like, thanks Alfred line to themselves. I think it'd be weird for them to bring up Alfred after the climax, like with Raish, right before she... No, not weird to bring up Alfred at all, but, like, in that sense. I was saying, okay, Bruce does the whole record time sequence, lands, feels like a renewed sense of purpose, says to himself, thanks Alfred. And that's because of the suit in the moment. Alfred built the suit, blah, blah, blah. He says that to himself. Then he turns around, and that's when he says, let's go to Talia. They move on to this. Fucking Talia has... Alfred has, I don't know, tossed her whatever the Bat computer produced during the ambush. And, like, she gets it. And...
I don't think they should both say it.
Okay, that was the way to me that it only... That was the only way to me that it seemed like it had a point or cool. Like, because I was debatable on it when it was just Bruce saying it. But
really?
Then when I added Talia saying it, then it was like it was like Alfred silently working for them both after his death, and they both recognize it, but they don't need to acknowledge it for anyone else. I mean, that's just the way I'm thinking. I consider it. I don't. It's you can cut them however you want. I don't. Whatever you want.
Yeah, see, I'm just unsure on it. Something feels a little off about it to me, and I can't pinpoint exactly what. It's like I don't know, just having them both say the same thing at two different points, you know.
I understand, and that's why I reacted the way just now when you suggested that line, because I didn't realize you were saying that, talking to them to each other, because it was such a specific thing to say. Uh-huh. But saying thanks Alfred, just like in a moment of like they don't even mean to say it. It's just like, holy shit, I just survived. Like, thanks Alfred. Like, that seems like such a simple thing that would make sense for them to say, because they both wouldn't have be where they were without what he did for them. Mm-hmm. That's all. All I'm doing is defending my thought, or just explaining my thought behind it. I'm not trying to convince you either way.
Okay. I see what you're getting at. Okay, so anyway, this Talia scene.
Yeah. Okay,
so then what?
Alright, well, how do we end up with people shooting at her?
My guess is someone noticed her fucking with the computer.
So, okay, we want her to make it from the entrance all the way to, like...
Some sort of computer to regulate shit.
Master computer without anyone noticing. Because I feel like she could do that if she discovered the time belts before anybody knew she was there.
But we want her to discover the time belts to get out of the whole, hey, I'm getting shot at sort of thing.
Right, exactly.
So,
I mean, she could fight her way over there. She could try to sneak over there and get caught, and that could be some fun to be had with her fighting shadow guards. I don't know. And they're, like, in an Abaddon plant, and they have to, like, worry about where they're shooting at Abaddon stuff. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Because
I feel like we're doing like this is what we did in early episodes. Throw a whole bunch of ideas that only 1% of will work.
Yeah, because I feel like it's not too big a suspension of disbelief for Talia to be able to get over to not a master computer, or at least some sort of regulating computer, to get to it without being noticed, but to be on it for any length of time without getting noticed. That's the thing.
Okay.
And then she gets noticed being on the computer, and she's got to cut short what she's doing and just slams a bunch of shit, and then everyone's freaking out.
And also, is the plant that makes the Abaddon, is that regulated and run on a computer that's just like typey, stop-start, or is it going to be like you turn it off by like pulling a fucking lever, or that thing's going to fucking blow up or something? It's a big tank that blows up. I don't know.
I kind of like the whole typey thing, because then she can, put in some sort of command.
Okay. But we do want like an explosion.
Right.
To wipe out everyone in there.
Turn off safeguard or something.
Well, I mean, it should be an unexpected but natural explosion.
So I just thought of something, though.
Okay.
These guys might not be so willy-nilly with their firearms in this room.
Probably. But they might be dumb.
They might be, but that's something that I would think is just like, is Ra's really going to hire people this stupid? I mean, the Joker might.
Yeah. Would he have, like, Society of Shadows separate people, like guards, or like scientists who, like, aren't guards?
Maybe they're shooting at her, but not directly at the lab equipment. Maybe the computers, before you get to any of the lab equipment, which is all over on that side of the room, and then she's sitting here, and then there's like a couple of boxes or something that she can hide behind over here, and it's just like a separate assembly line sort of thing with the computer handles. Mm-hmm. It could be done if we had the layout of the room right.
Yeah. Well, the way you're picturing it, okay. Type it how you're picturing it.
Something I just thought of, and again, these are things that would be hard to explain in the screenplay, but would make sense when you're looking at it visually, is how the Lazarus pit is in Raish's room if it's on a higher floor than this shit. Mm-hmm. The base is on a hill. Mm-hmm. And the Lazarus pit's going up the hill somewhat.
Okay.
And the base just sort of comes up over the hill, so it's sort of like this shape, which you can't see what I'm saying, but imagine like one of the S's from Kiss turned about 45 degrees.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how the base goes, and that's how we can have the Lazarus pit in his room, and the lab could be pumping it out of the side, but he'd still have the pit upstairs.
Right.
But yeah, so that's just a layout thing that would be extraneous in the screenplay, but when it comes to set design, that's where that comes in.
Yeah. No, I totally get it, and that helps with picturing.
That's what I was imagining. It was like a big room up top with stairs on either side.
What the hell?
Yeah, right.
Did you...
Sean, explain yourself, but audibly.
Oh, okay. Well, I pictured kind of like a big room like you see in movies, how they've got the big room up top it's got windows on both sides that watch either way of the factories, and then everyone works at the very bottom. It's usually where like foremans are and things like that. That's kind of what I was imagining. Is there's a bunch of stuff going down, people working at the bottom. There's the main computers or whatever, something that's up top. Obviously people would see it, but at the same time, that's where anything important would be. While you have every other peon working at the bottom there.
Are you saying up top?
You just drew this in just like the fucking 5 minutes we've been typing this shit.
Yeah.
So you should do more shit like this. This is helpful. So the part up here, are you saying that's where Talia needs to get to control the?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It'd be something that even the audience watching it would be obvious, but at the same time,
okay, right. We wouldn't even need to define that, like, that's where, like, the main computer is.
Yeah.
Just, like, find a cool way for her to get up there.
And she wouldn't immediately be visible unless someone went upstairs onto the catwalk.
True.
Right. But I did, like, picture the, like, time belts when she was, like, in a heap of shit, like, in sort of, like, an alcove off to the side.
She runs downstairs when people are shooting at her and she gets off behind something.
Okay. But we have to have all that happen before she gets here. Because once she gets up here, she's going to activate whatever blows the place, right? Or I think it should be something besides a computer activation thing that makes the plant blow up. like some shit going down. Like everyone's trying to be safe. We could define that visibly with actions. Is like you were saying, everybody knows like this is Abaddon, this is serious stuff, and like there's an intruder and we need to like stop her, but like we need to be safe because this is serious. Like we could all die, and like maybe like everybody recognizes that, like guards, scientists, Talia, but things do like. Between the struggle of her trying to stop them and then trying to stop her, things do get to a place where like whatever it is that's having Abaddon pump into it, this huge tank or whatever, it like blows up or they release it or whatever. Is that me being more exciting just for like Jerry Bruckheimer's sake, or is that like it just seems like less climactic to just be like beep bop boop, okay, it's off, and then like how do we get it out in the lab and dispose of all the shadow guards?
I'm not understanding what you're getting at. See, what you want is for her to not touch the computer at all until after she discovers the time belts?
Yeah, the time belts are to help her get to a point where she can sabotage everything.
But then that sort of becomes anticlimactic, because then when she turns on the time belt, she can just fucking slow everything down, and then absolutely nothing's happening except she goes to the computer.
Well, yeah, it's really climactic until she sees it, and then like it feels like triumphant, like, oh man, she's using this to get past them, and then like I don't know how it could be directed, but I feel like in my head it could be done in such a way that like, no, I don't know, I'm not gonna say that because I'm not picturing it done that way, but like,
here, let me finish out this paragraph real quick and then you type what you're thinking.
Okay. I'm not really thinking something specific, that's the problem. I just know.
Well, we're at the point now to where we need to start picking out specific shit.
I know.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem here. Okay. How do I describe what he just drew?
Just refer to it as like the bird's nest, or widow's watch, or I don't know.
Okay. You come up with something.
Okay.
How did I not notice you doing this earlier?
I don't know.
He wasn't doing it like that, like where we can see it. He kept it a surprise. He knew what he was doing.
Sly ass bastard. You could totally storyboard the entire movie this way in like 10 minutes. You could actually storyboard the movie in quicker than the running time of the film.
I mean, I was thinking if we didn't like doing like a computer thing or something, you could always do like those like things you see in movies where they got the big tankers, but they got the valve on them.
Mm-hmm. What's this?
I was going to be a person, but then I didn't even think about trying to get the size right. So I was like, you know what? No. I won't even do it.
This is Seaweed Monster Man.
It's a seaweed monster, man. Slim Jim.
Sometimes you need those.
You never know when you need one.
So what's going on the floors of this hangar, or not hangar, of this plant? Like, what are they working on? Are there dudes with like test tubes?
People moving boxes
Are
around.
there 10 dudes? Are there 100 dudes?
It's probably closer to 10. And, they'll be moving. Most of the dudes on the lower floor will be working on... that's the thing, is that Race has already done most of the science shit. I think he's just giving instructions.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Walter White. There's still a session. You gotta cook it.
Mm-hmm. So Walter White's down there, captured.
Yep.
It's crazy to think, and spoiler alert, that we were... Back in the day, we were talking about, like, if Walt survived, he could actually have, like, a live cameo in this.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, which is the spoiler. I guess you can edit that out.
I saw a shot of the last page of Breaking Bad. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
The last, like, screenplay script, and, like, the way Vince Gilligan puts it is so beautiful. It sort of made me tear up, just how, like, he put it. He was like, he describes that he died, like, he's like on the ground and he's smiling and the camera starts to lift up and like cops approach him from all sides as we lift up, but it's too late. He got away.
Oh man.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So how are we gonna blow this up?
Fuck with the pressure regulations that the whole thing overpressurizes.
So she doesn't know what she's doing on the computer.
She has a vague idea. She sees something that says pressure regulation and fucking blows her shit up.
Oh, okay. Alright.
It's funny because at the end of this movie, by the time we get it finished up and released, I'm gonna guess that this movie is gonna be released. Now, don't quote me on this, but sometime in the next, like 3 years from now or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it'll be funny because then it'll be like this movie took place like 7 years in the past.
Yeah, that's funny. It's a period piece.
Yeah. We'll just call it Inglourious Bastards. Which they should have named How World War II Should Have Ended. Actually, the working title for the film was Once Upon a Time in Nazi-occupied France.
That's awesome.
It was what they called which is they had a call out to that when they just pull up the setting. But they went and they called it Inglourious Bastards based on it's a title of an older film, but of course they spelled it right.
So I think we do this much and we cut away from it.
Okay. So, Talia surveys the large lab from back. The equipment is off on a higher level, an array of pipes and vats, some green, some white, and some orange, behind a large window. There's a computer up top, accessible from her catwalk. She makes a break for the stairs, but is easily spotted by guards who begin shooting at her one by one. She jumps through some rows of lab equipment, making her way to an alcove behind some crates for safety. She frantically looks around for a weapon or a way out, and notices one of the crates is open. She runs over to it. It's overflowing with time belts. I like that. I like how that ends. But I don't think the only thing I didn't like was I don't think she's going to make a break for it. Okay. I think she's going to try and move cautiously and then still get spotted.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to like sprint towards it because I mean, we do have to remember that Talia is trained in stealth and shit.
Right.
So yeah, just that.
Okay.
Cool, man.
What you get there?
I was just drawing what she would look like if she were at that computer.
Oh, okay. You're just storyboarding the scene as we're doing it?
Yeah, apparently.
Cool. So we want to go back to gas chamber?
Yeah. Still intercut?
I guess so, yeah. He would make an Abaddon gas, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's going to replace all of it. That was the thing was I thought we discussed Ubu taking himself out with the gas thing to replace that with Abaddon. Because you had it in the screenplay that it was the green shit that they normally just wipe their minds with.
I thought we said that before, but then you were like he would still be like a martyr and remain loyal to the Shadow Guards. In that episode with Franklin. I thought we talked about that.
I don't remember it, but I went back on that.
Okay.
Okay. Past me is stupid. Okay, so now would Raish have a throne room? Is he a king?
Yes.
Is that what we should call that room? Is a throne room?
In my mind, he's flamboyant enough to yes.
Okay. So he can have a throne room.
At least that's the vibe of it. Maybe he doesn't call it that. So you guys have fun. I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, I thought the creaking sound of the door was something going on. Oh my, he did.
That ain't good. I'll be right back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to step outside.
Okay, cool.
I was just coming down there.
When you're done with your cigarette, come back up, Sean.
Who can?
Huh?
Who can?
We were just talking to David. You can outside. We accomplished nothing.
It's okay, I did.
Monitor on the...
Start here.
Okay. Batman sees Raish's throne room through a doorway across from him. He makes a break for it, and the door slams shut on either side. He checks the surroundings and notices the camera in the ceiling as the room fills with Abaddon gas. Just before losing visibility, Batman produces an aerifier.
I didn't know what to call it.
It's called a rebreather.
Okay.
And brings it to his mouth. The screen fills with orange. Interior Raish's fortress throne room continuous. From a monitor on his Ghul computer, Raish watches Abaddon clear from the room to reveal Batman waiting impatiently. He presses a nearby button, and the door lifts across the room. Batman emerges from the fog inside. Okay, cool. So then...
Is it a big coincidence or what that the big meeting comes on page 69, bros?
69, dude.
So we obviously have to have them 69 here. Flash cut to Raish and Batman's violently 69ing.
That's just the climax. That is the climax of the movie.
They climax, and so does the movie. End.
Okay. Well, that's kind of gross. So let's do...
Because you pictured it.
I did. It was terrible.
This is a step up from when I made you picture Batman and Joker hugging.
Okay. So, I think Ray should have the first words here. I'm kind of going to just take the reins here because I like writing dialogue for Raish.
Do it.
Okay.
What about starting with just a detective Raish?
I like it.
Always going with the classics.
Got a lot of fucking characters here, man.
Just hit R.
No, I know to hit that.
Oh.
I was just looking at all the fucking characters we have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of voice actors.
Constructed a new...
You
have to explain that for the audience.
Yeah. So I'm typing, and Raish is like, so I see you've, and then Ken pipes up, constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete.
And we'll just go full Jedi from here.
Batman pulls his lightsaber, and Raish pulls his. I guess Raish has a green one, and Batman... Yeah, Batman probably has a red one. No, he'd have a yellow
one at this point.
At this point, yeah. Later he'll change to red. Or no, he's got a black lightsaber.
Yes. That's why the ladies are so impressed by him.
I can make black light. Not a black light, but black light. Mm-hmm. It is the shiniest absence of light you can possibly have.
Constructed a new suit.
Right. I'm actually trying to get away from that, so hold on.
All I want to do is reference Star Wars and everything I do.
We've got the really good it's not a reference, it's a fucking quote. So we'll get that. Okay.
Have we only referenced Star Wars once? I feel like we've done it more than once at this point.
We might have done it more than once, but we feel like here would be a little...
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I tell you guys something embarrassing?
I
drove to Richmond today for Quiznos.
Just so you could have Quiznos?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That's the closest Quiznos we have now?
I think so.
That's okay. We're getting a Firehouse.
Yeah, but that's not that good.
Oh, I love Firehouse.
It's okay. I like one of them. One of the subs.
Oh, man, they got some great shit
Plus,
there.
they're already close enough. They're in Stanton.
But we're getting one in Waynesboro, which isn't Stanton, because Stanton is stupid.
And there's a Jimmy John's opening.
Oh, yeah. And we recently got a Panera Bread, which, according to Kristen, I'm not allowed to eat at because they didn't hire her, but...
It's okay, they didn't hire me either. I ate there. Man, I've gotten so used to just writing on coffee in fucking diners. That's where I go to write. I just go to IHOPs or Waffle Houses because if I'm connected to the internet, I won't write. I'll just go online.
Really? I didn't know that.
That's what I've been doing for weeks. And I got really used to that on the trip, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you at Waffle House when you wrote those 11 pages?
Yeah, I was at IHOP.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
One in Harrisonburg or?
Yep.
Nice.
I've written some of it in the one in Charlottesville. I go real late at night, like 1 in the morning when no one's there.
It's the best time to go.
Yeah. Just get coffee.
Plus your coffee's not that expensive, and it's good coffee.
Well, I mean, I don't even care if it's that. I just need a place to go where I can be, or I have something to focus on to write without internet. And the way I have an addiction issue with weed, of like always feeling the need to hit like weed or whatever, that coffee is right there, and it is something. It's caffeine, and you know, like when I sit back from not having an idea to write for a second from typing, I can just like grab that coffee cup and drink that, and like that keeps my brain active while I've been doing it for a while.
That's brilliant.
I guess.
I mean, it
if you
works.
have a fucked up weed problem. So whenever we get stuck at some point here tonight, I suggest we all go to Waffle House and finish this live at Waffle House. I started that as a joke, but by the time I finished
It actually sounds like a good idea.
I was like, or we could do that.
I don't know, maybe. What's your wife going to think?
Who cares? She's not there.
Best response.
Brilliant answer. Okay, so this is what I got so far for the race dialogue, and then I wrote myself into a hole.
Okay.
But I'm actually having them just talking, because that is what I love about these two.
Yeah.
Is they will just sit there and have a civil conversation before fighting.
Yeah, I've been looking. I think that's one thing we've been looking forward to this whole time.
Yeah, like this is a big fucking tick for me. Okay, so I'll just go back to the previous paragraph. From a monitor on his Ghul computer, Raish watches
You can change that.
I think it's great.
I mean, for the moment, we'll just leave it as that. Fuck it. From a monitor on his Ghul computer, Raish watches Abaddon clear from the room to reveal Batman waiting impatiently. I'm imagining him, like, arms crossed, like, tapping his foot on the floor. He presses a nearby button, and the door lifts across the room. Batman emerges from the fog inside. Detective, pocketing a rebreather. Raish. A new suit of armor for an old man. I presume you're compensating for age? At least I'm not defying nature with my every breath. But aren't you, Detective? Naturally, by this point, you should have settled down to a life of quiet misery. As long as you're around, I will be. We both know that's a lie. I disagree. That is immaterial. At the end of this... And then a comma, I don't know what else.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't dislike any of that. I mean, I can only write on my lap right here.
Ooh.
It's like Patrick getting killed by the Abaddon.
Bikini Bottom is a very populated city.
Right here where Batman says, I disagree. He's disagreeing with Raish saying that's a lie, and Raish is saying what Batman just said is a lie. So disagreeing is redundant. So I'm going to go back to that, and we'll work from there.
Okay. But it's interesting because Raish uses big words, and Batman, though he understands all these big words, is usually very brisk.
Yeah.
Is that the word I was looking for? Brisk? Kurt Russell? Kurt Russell is Batman.
Wouldn't be terrible.
You know, now that I think about it, that's...
Especially old Batman? Yeah,
that wouldn't be terrible.
See, my grandmother wants Bruce Campbell to be Batman.
I would love that movie.
that would be great too.
Yeah, no, that would be something, because he would make a hell of a Bruce Wayne. Like, I guarantee he'd do Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like, he would have to be really calm and composed to be Batman, which is a little out of the norm for Bruce Campbell, but I don't think he couldn't do it. I think it would just be a challenge for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree with that completely. I wanted John Hamm for the new movie.
So did pretty much everybody.
Really?
But I read an article yesterday that said it was talking about how Ben Affleck is actually the best choice for that DC could have made. And they actually like reference a bunch of movies he's been in, including like really rare ones. Like he's been in some indie shit.
Yeah.
Hollywoodland.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that one.
That's a good movie.
He was great on it.
But yeah, it's like there's like obviously he can be a playboy.
Yeah.
He can be good with computers. He can beat the shit out of people. Pretty much that's Batman.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not unhappy with that choice. I'm really not.
Yeah, it's like, you know, there was the initial shock of just like, what?
Yeah.
But at the end of it, I mean... and the other thing that people are bringing up that's really good about it is he has the jawline for it. People don't understand how important that is. Oh, sorry, wait. I'll just say it out loud. Val Kilmer. And it's just like, He didn't act the part too bad, but he's just got that jaw that was like, he looked like the college humor Batman.
My biggest problem with it is he was probably no taller than Franklin.
I mean, Batman needs to be like 6'5".
Yeah, not 4'7".
The day that Robin was taller than Batman. Isn't it like Tom Cruise is like really fucking short and they have to have him stand on shit in every movie?
Sometimes, yeah.
What about Robert Downey Jr.? Isn't Gwyneth Paltrow taller than him?
I don't know.
I think she is. What you doing over there, Scene?
Well, she couldn't try to call her, but then she finally texted me back, so I guess I won't need to call her now.
We're gonna go finish this up, and nothing can stop us. Say we have the power of Abaddon on our side. What do you have?
I was going to text Kristen that, but then Holmes was calling.
Does the calling completely destroy your text? That's stupid.
Well, I can slide up a message that'll, like, ignore this call with a message. I went to the movies, can't talk. Yeah, some bullshit like that.
But you can't just, like, continue what you're doing. That's the problem in the Pokemon game, is that if you're trying to send somebody a trade request, and somebody else sends you a trade request, it cancels it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Happens to me sometimes when, like, passersby or something will just challenge me to a random battle or something. And I'll be, like, trying to trade with somebody that's, like, really important because they're giving away cool shit. And I'll be like, nope. I gotta come up with a whole box of shit to Wonder Trade because, like, around this time is apparently fucking ridiculous for Wonder Trade because people are just sending out really good shit.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it's, like, Christmas time and everyone's like, hey, I'm gonna give cool shit. And so you just fucking pull everything off there.
Kind of makes sense. I kind of do want a 3DS. Kind of.
I just got his $200 Pokemon machine.
They've got some cool games for that system.
Yeah, but I'm just not the biggest Nintendo fan. Like, I like Pokemon.
That's my problem.
I like Mario to an extent, but like all the Zelda, all the Metroid, it's just like, hey, let's release this game again, but call it something different.
Yeah.
I mean, at least with Pokemon, they try and switch it up every once in a while. Like, they make new Pokemon with new type combinations and add new moves and shit. So, it's not something you play for the story, because the story is usually just there as a means to get Pokemon.
Yeah. That's kind of my thing, too, is I'm not a huge Nintendo fan.
Mm-hmm. I hate winter. It makes me so itchy. You just get, like, that dry skin, and it's just like...
Yeah.
I just need to, like, take a shower, but replace all my water with, like, anti-itch lotion.
That's actually a good idea.
You know what sucks about itching? Is that there's actually no way to completely get rid of it because people who have had, like, limbs amputated will still feel itchy where their arm was. It's called, you ever heard of the phrase phantom limb?
Yeah, where they think that their arm's still there when it isn't.
That's what the character in the Venture Brothers is based off of. That's why he's called the Phantom Limb. It's based on that phrase. Huh. And it pretty much is just like the most useless thing ever. I mean, yeah, of course he has the strangling electricity and shit, but you imagine that? You just like a superpower, your arms and legs are invisible. So that was a great threat. Brock Sampson's like, if you ever come near those boys again, I'll make your head match your arms.
Could you say that like Brock Sampson?
I could try. It's been a long time since I've done this, so it might take a few tries. If you ever come near those boys again, I'll make your head match your arms.
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
I used to be able to do it a lot better than that. I gotta watch that 5th season. I have got to watch that 5th season. I'm gonna catch up on the Futurama that I haven't seen. We'll finish that up, and then we'll have to get into some Venture Bros.
Is the new season of the Venture Brothers on Netflix yet, or soon?
I don't know. I know the Venture Brothers is on Netflix. I don't know if the new season is up. I think I remember it saying new episodes on there, so probably. I mean, that season ended this summer, and they've already got the 5th season of Breaking Bad up there.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, like both halves of it.
Oh, the second half's up now, too?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Because, like, the whole Blu-ray thing is... Did you see their Blu-ray?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that fucking set, and it comes in, like, the oil drum?
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck. That's $300 that I can't justify, but fuck is it cool.
Damn, cool.
Alright, so I've just been playing with the dialogue just because I didn't know what to do, and I just sort of re-edited it because was trying to work towards the direction of them discussing what's going on. So if you want to start back a bit, him entering, say, detective.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to speak for two different people and make it sound different.
Detective Raish, tell me, how is new armor as a substitute for youth?
There's nothing unnatural about adapting to old age. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Isn't it all a matter of perspective, Detective? In my estimation, a Lazarus pit is the most natural thing in the world.
And that's reason enough to use it to wipe out the world?
Not the world. The world as we know it.
And what gives you the right to decide who stays?
I've had every right as you since the day we were born, to be the change we seek in the world.
I like that. Where was that from?
Gandhi said that.
Ah, okay.
And I thought from there we could some, like, Batman's line after that could be referencing the fact that, like, yeah, but you've had more than your fair share of time here on the world to do what you seek. Like, you ran out of time. I just didn't know how. I just hadn't figured out a way to make that sound cool and natural.
Here.
Yeah, you know.
Let me see if I can get something here. Okay. Though something was though I want to change this line, the most natural thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Just the most natural thing there is.
Okay.
Because otherwise it doesn't flow right with the next line.
Right.
And that's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
It is natural. I mean, it's more natural than most things. More natural than what Batman's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a good point. I actually want to have him mention that that's a Gandhi quote. Because
I had a line typed out that I deleted. It was like, you don't have the right to mutter the words of great men.
Hold on.
Something like that, I don't know. Or what right have you to utter words of men like that?
My line is quoting Gandhi to justify genocide.
Yeah, whatever. That's good. I would say more defining, like quoting Gandhi won't justify genocide, race, or something like that.
Yeah, hold on. Let me think of what the next line is and
Okay.
see if I can come up with something. If not, I'll do that.
Okay. Sorry, I just need to get up and move around.
Throughout this dialogue, we have to have the flashback to the fucking the fight with the alchemist.
Yeah, I was thinking about how to work towards, at least, if not flashing back, him explaining that time and what the staff represents and how he just discovered that element and as the
Okay, I've got it. I'm just going to this from here.
Okay. You can quote great men as much as you want, but that'll never make you one. Something like that. I don't want to spell it out that it's Gandhi. Does that make sense?
Kind of. Well, no, it does make sense, but I think him quoting Gandhi and Batman noting the irony of specifically quoting Gandhi, a man who would find Raish's entire outlook on life completely aberrant, I think that is actually really good.
Okay.
Like, I think that is I think that's a nice little touch there. Though I do like your line.
Yeah, quoting great men doesn't make you one. I mean, quoting Gandhi won't make you a great man.
But now, I like this line, though, quoting Gandhi to justify genocide.
Okay.
I mean, that's just because there's a hint of irony to that really hits.
You can make it more of a statement. Just replace that question mark with a period and then be like, that brings your insanity to a whole nother level. Or it was clear from your text that your insanity was in another level.
Insane.
But I knew that from watching the news. But I got that from watching the news. Have we been sitting here a long time? Should I feel this restless? How did I get here?
We've been doing this for
like
several hours.
Okay.
And we're not done yet.
No, I know.
It's like, I don't know how late we can keep Sean, but I just want to do this till we're fucking done.
Yeah. I do too, but if not, we'll see how far we get. As far as copying the fight sequence, that's already figured out. We just need to copy it.
Yeah, you're right.
And then figure out that Talia shit. And we've explained that whole ending with Raish fucking switching bodies so many times. That'll happen in a second. I don't like the "you really are insane" line. Because he knew he was insane. I mean, if he could make note that he knew he was insane, like, you're just proving your insanity. Or something. That could just be the line, quoting Gandhi to justify genocide.
I just kind of wanted him to use that word.
Okay. Yeah. If you can figure out how to go into just...
I've got it.
Okay. Him explaining that whole past, then I honestly think the rest of it will be a quick shot. Like, we have it all figured out. We just don't have their dialogue done.
Okay, I've got us to a point where we can segue into that. Okay, so Batman's like, and what gives you the right to decide who stays? I've had a right as you since the day we were born, to be the change we seek in the world. Quoting Gandhi to justify genocide. Think of me what you will, but in the end it is quite immaterial. No matter what happens, no matter what beliefs you hold, I will stand victorious. I won't let that happen. You think you are the first to stand against me?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, and then continue on from there, right?
I don't know what to do.
It says screenwriter under your name in the credits.
I bet 9 out of 10 times a screenwriter is handed a bunch of scenes by a director. And like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. This is how the screenplay's going to go. And then the screenwriter just lines it all up.
Yeah.
Connects the dots. But I guess that's what he's asking me to do.
Pretty much.
You think you are the first to stand against me? Well, he knows he's not. Otto likes to put questions in.
He does enjoy that.
You're not the first to stand against me. God damn it, I can't figure out how to make this dialogue flow right into some sort of explanation or flashback. Like, why does Raish need to monologue basically about how fucking bubonic plague curing shit caused him to start, or no, he wanted to keep the bubonic plague going to serve his natural purpose of wiping out the majority of people in the world, right? That's what we got to get him to say.
I like how you're flowing it here. I like the way that's going. Well, no, I remember how we had this. Well, no, I vaguely remember how we had it. There was something that he had. There was something Batman had in common with the Alchemist that Raish picked up on. And that was what prompted him to...
Just him thinking he could finish him.
Was that it?
I think so.
No, it was more than that.
Alright.
Because everyone thinks they can win. No, it was something that he...
That was just the first dude to take him down, and we were gonna comment on on the staff, and the staff, he was gonna talk about how that belonged to the first dude who tried to take him down, and that's where he would bring up like I don't know, the staff had to be mentioned first, and that would bring them into it. I don't know. Hold on.
No, hold on. Let me think.
Here's some notes here.
No, because we had something. There was something that Raish recognized about Batman. I think I had it when I wrote down the whole fight scene.
Here are old notes about it.
I mean, are they the things that I wrote?
I don't know.
Because I had that whole thing.
He reminisces about his previous adversaries over the last 600 years and notes to Batman just how much he is like the first. Raish says, do you know why he'll never defeat?
That's what it was. Batman won't kill anybody. Neither will the Alchemist. Batman's merciful.
Ah, there you go.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Something about that. I can't believe that it was so fucking obvious. Why the hell we didn't think of it? That's why we keep notes.
It'll be interesting when we have the movie, because I'm going to guess that when we have the movie finished, we'll have the notes up for download.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be something to see. Like, it sucks. It sucks that we're the ones making this movie, because we won't be like the outside perspective to see how awesome it is to just be like, oh shit, this is how they made this. This is day one here. You'd see like the progression of a Mad Hatter or something.
Do we want them to start fighting and him to start using the staff and then like maybe Batman comment on it before?
No.
Okay.
No, at least I don't. I don't know what you want. If we want to actually go do that Waffle House thing, we could do that now, and that'll give us time to think on the road.
You want to?
I want to. What do you think, Sean?
That's fine with me. I told Kristen I would run her some cigarettes because that's what she's blowing my phone up about.
You people really need to stop smoking.
You wouldn't need a second job if you both stopped smoking.
And you wouldn't get your phone blown up all the fucking time.
Yeah, it's true.
Plus, they're disgusting.
Do we want
Not
to?
enough good.
Do we want to split up and meet each other there? Because that's on the side of town where I'll be going ultimately anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I got it fully charged while we were here.
Oh, there you go.
We'll go sit and drink coffee and ask the waitress what she thinks.
Wait, do you have cigarettes on you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if we're gonna stop to the store and
We will return momentarily in a Waffle House.
Yep. I love that this is happening. This is happening. Project Batman live at Waffle House.
oh yeah, that's right. Because now we're on air.
Yeah.
Do we want to put the mic in the middle of the table, just so when Sean eventually speaks up?
I speak up occasionally.
I think that's how it'll pick up all of us.
Is it? Oh yeah, that's right. Because it's like a.
You don't want it behind.
Oh okay. Thank you. I lied. I need this back.
Have you guys seen Burning Love?
No. I've seen Burning Cubes.
It's a web series, and it's hilarious.
Really?
A bunch of people are in it that you've heard of.
Really?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ordering anything?
I will in a bit.
Yeah, same here, but not for a while.
Just let me know when you are ready.
Okay,
Cool.
thanks.
Until then, we're going to take up some space.
Well, we bought coffee. We're allowed to be here.
Yeah. There was this dude, he got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat buffet because he was there for like 6 hours, just eating the whole time. They were running out of food.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, no, and this dude sued him because he's like, I'm sorry, but the sign said all you can eat.
Yeah.
I can still eat.
Yeah,
I was still able to eat when I left.
You can't kick anyone out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, they kicked him out because they're like, you're eating too much.
That's crazy.
Right? I would be so mad.
I would understand if like you went for one meal and then didn't eat for a long time and just hung out there and then ate another meal there. That would be one thing.
Yeah, no, he was eating the whole time. They were running out of food. He's like, I don't understand where that's my problem.
Yeah. Really?
I mean, yeah, look that up. It's a funny article because there's like an interview with the dude, and of course the dude weighed like 600 pounds.
Of course. As you would expect.
I weighed 600 pounds once. Then I went on Atkins. Died, got reincarnated.
Things turned out well for you after that?
Uh huh.
That's my riding drug.
Actually, are there more creamers?
Yeah.
Oh shit. We're not at a diner. Where they might have more. I'm just kidding. Oh shit.
Oh, do you take yours black?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then all these creamers are then. Screw you. I like cream.
So Batman's like, I'll be the first to stop you. And Raish is like, you're the latest of many to think so. If only you had the strength to commit your cause. To commit to your cause. Now, I had an idea on the way here that was not continuing this. I'm still stuck here, but I was like, what if we just wrote what we have in the notes to psych ourselves up for being almost done with the script? And then by that time, we'll be like, okay, now we just have to write. We have to finish the scene, and that'll be all we have to fill in.
Maybe, but I have an idea. I mean, we can do that.
Okay,
But-
well, here. Let's take this. You guys just, hey,
I need more sugar. Hold on.
we're on record right here.
I need more sugar. Hold on.
You guys, you guys,
Damn it, Ken, shut up. I'm thirsty.
no, you need to, you need to understand that if you guys get your water or coffee on my shit, that would suck for me a lot.
So, what you're saying is pick up the coffee and pour it directly into, thus soaking the components completely.
If you want it to suck a lot,
Okay. I'll make sure that.
I'm purposely going to keep my hand on my drink.
not if you're typing. If you want, just steal it from him, Sean.
Take it.
Yeah. Guys, what's up? Okay, never mind.
What?
Nobody told me till last night that guys are quote unquote supposed to shave under our jawline. And I was just seeing if either of you did. But you don't.
No. This is where I hold my manliness. Is all in this beard.
And I'm kind of going for the white trash.
I've never seen you.
Look.
I've never seen you without it, right?
You've seen me without it before.
Really? Without any facial hair?
Not without any at all, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think I don't mind.
you don't want to.
I do.
I don't want
Kind
to.
of do want to.
No, it's terrible. I hate it. I absolutely hate it and will not do it.
Okay. I'm not gonna force you, man.
Although I like the beard you got going on.
We're seeing what happens. I'm not gonna commit to say I'm growing a beard. I'll say we'll see. We're seeing what happens.
You should grow like one of those Ron Swansons.
Let's see what happens.
I gotta start watching Parks and Rec.
Yep.
I haven't seen any of this season. What are they on 5 now?
Season 6.
6?
I think so. I think.
Shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I've missed 2.
It's pretty good, man.
'Cause I know
I thought I got out of it, and then I watched a few the other day, like all in a row, because we hadn't seen it in weeks. And I was like, man, this shit's pretty good.
Yeah. I've heard it's gotten a little... So since the last time I saw it, it's gotten a little crazier. Like, with Ron having a baby now with... I can only assume one of the Tammies. Not even one of the Tammies?
No, they make it work. It's cool. I like it. I like the direction they're taking with some characters.
Has at the point that they're in, has... What's her friend, Anne? Has she left yet? Not yet.
It's got like 2 or 3 more episodes.
Her?
Rashida Jones
Her?
and Rob Lowe.
Oh, he's leaving too? I like him.
Me too. I like them both.
Yeah.
He didn't get it.
Nothing. It's okay.
And he was Arrested Development joke.
Okay.
I'll be honest, Rob Lowe made The West Wing for me. He made that show watchable for me.
That was a pretty good show. I mean, I didn't really watch much of it, but what I saw was pretty cool. And it's Aaron Sorkin, who I love.
Oh, he's an amazing writer.
Yeah, except his new show is sort of unwatchable.
You don't like The Newsroom?
I watched the first season and liked it, but the second season, it's just really self-masturbatory, I think.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
think he started pandering a little too much to the critics
I
with
don't
that
know.
second season.
Yeah, I don't know. I only watched, I think, the first episode of the second season.
Yeah. The whole, like, girl with the dragon tattoos thing going on.
I don't even remember.
You don't remember the butt rape? There was a lot of that.
No, I'm good for now.
I'm okay for now.
Yeah, I'll finish my cup. I just don't want to. I've got my sugar and cream levels perfectly balanced here.
Exactly. And then we sat at a Waffle House till 5 a.m. and finished the scripts.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I got to work tomorrow, but I'm only going to work one day this week.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I put in for Thursday and Friday off, and I got Wednesday off with pay. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have a 5-day weekend. This can be great. Well, the boss apparently didn't know that we were working Christmas Eve, and he's like, no, you're not. Shop's not open. And everyone's like, wait, what? Because we were coming in. And we did. I mean, it was just the company dinner like last week before. I think it was last Friday. And he was just like, "No, the shop's not open Christmas Eve. Nobody come in. It's closed. We're not doing anything." And so I mean, we're not paid for that day, but we're not open. And we've got New Year's Day off, and he did the same thing for New Year's Eve.
Nice.
So we're not coming. So I mean, I'm gonna be a little short on paychecks for a couple of weeks, but considering that I've already got my rent taken care of, I don't care. And now I'm gonna have 6 days off in a row, which is more than I have had in 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have another 3-day week after that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
you're going to Williamsburg?
for part of it, I don't know if I'm going to be there the whole time. It all depends.
Are you going to be there Thursday?
Yes.
Well, we were talking about me and you still getting together at his apartment since I've got a key, and we'll just call him like we called you.
Well, we can do that, but I was just about to suggest something unrelated. Because Thursday, if I get on the list, I'm going to Virginia Beach to do an open mic. The open mic that I do out there.
Oh, and I wouldn't be far from there.
Yeah, and I could just pick you up on the way if you wanted to go.
Okay. It's my brother's birthday, so...
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Well, we could take him if you want to go.
Oh. We could.
Yeah. I'll ask him.
Okay.
I'd like to hear your stand-up.
That'd be funny. Hopefully. I'm just busting your balls, man. I'm sure it's
No,
great.
I mean, that's the idea. That's how I feel every time. Hopefully.
I'm just busting your balls. Don't worry about it.
I know. What if Rach said something about how...
No, I'm in the zone.
I know.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
No, you go in the zone. I'll talk to Sean.
Okay.
But he's going to listen no matter what.
Yeah, he's going to listen.
All right, say it.
What if Rach said something in response to the Gandhi thing about how, like, Gandhi didn't say how he meant that. Again, I'm not being literal. Like, just like generally saying that, like, I'm still following what he said. I am affecting the change how I'm doing what the guy said. Like, you can't make it how he meant it one way just from your perspective. You're not right, Batman. Like some line that encapsulates all that in one idea. You know what I'm saying? I always when I try to define lines like that, they don't sound as cool because I don't have them in like.
If you get a chance when I pass the computer off, type in what you're thinking, and we'll see if it works.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back to the zone.
Kind of like that, though. It's true. It depends on the perspective.
Yeah, like be the change you seek to see in the world. Like Rachel's like, all right, I'm changing a lot right now.
Yeah.
This is how I've seen it for a long time.
I like that. It definitely seems like something he would say.
This is how I've always seen it.
Not that I can do a Rachel voice or anything.
It's gotten to a point, though, for me, that anytime I think Batman, all those voices start to come into my head.
There's a difference. I love when you really are trying to be Batman.
Yeah.
Because when we read for a long time, you just sort of make your voice lower and you lose it. But like, especially at the beginning of scenes.
it's difficult for me.
Yeah. I love. It's especially at the beginning of scenes. It's so close. I enjoyed editing my Joker episode. Listening to that was fun. That's the only one I feel like I do halfway decently, or even like 30% decently.
I don't know. I like your clock thing.
It's silly.
But he does.
spot on.
It sounds pretty good. I mean, it sounds good enough to where I would actually consider casting you if we didn't find anyone else.
Oh
That's
wow,
that's how good it is.
insane.
I agree.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. Is like if I mean, I would like to find somebody that is, just a voice actor in general. But
Right.
if we couldn't find that, you would definitely be a good backup there.
Okay, that's fun.
Feel flattered.
I feel flattered that we're this far and you guys like anything
Page
that I do.
70. Page 70 is how far we are.
They've just 69'd. They're talking now that they've both come. They're getting real post-coitus.
Oh, so at which point do we pull a Hanna-Barbera and bring in people from other cartoons that don't have anything related? Like just for some reason Inspector Space Dawn shows up?
That'll be.
Or like when Batman and Robin were on Scooby-Doo.
See, you always talk about doing a second movie, and you're talking about like Justice League or another cartoon or another fucking superhero thing or something. But I'm like, Now, if we're doing another independent thing where we don't have to adhere to anybody else's standards, like, whenever I even flirt with that idea, if it's animated, we go all out and just use whoever we want from whatever we want to make whatever story we want. Mm-hmm. Han Solo teams up with Pikachu.
That would be the funniest damn
Chewbacca's
movie.
annoying. Let's all be honest.
And then who does he fight? He fights Huckleberry Hound, who is trying to take over the digital world by using the power of
Droopy Dog.
exactly. So is this our next Friday special? This is it.
Do you think Droopy Dog was a metaphor on men being erect? What's the word? Flaccid?
Having erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it that way.
But it kind of makes sense.
I'm really glad I've never thought about it that way, but I've never thought about it that way.
Next time, if I ever see Droopy Dog again, I'm going to see if there are any penis similarities.
Well, he could be Joe Camel.
That's true. Actually, I remember, I want to say it was back before the Bat Party. You had mentioned that you had done a little writing on a side project. How's that going? Have you touched it since, or?
I think I was at work when I worked at the thrift shop.
Yeah.
It was going to be a short film that I was going to shoot in the thrift shop, but I don't work there anymore, and I just sort of dropped that. And now we're working on this, and I'm working on focusing on that stand-up special. And yeah, those are more my concerns.
Yeah.
One day I'll write and direct something live action. I intend to.
Yeah.
But
That'd be amazing.
it's probably going to be something that happens after next fall with this stand-up special. Cool. We'll be out a year from now on YouTube next December. That's insane.
Feel the pressure yet?
I'm excited. I'm just really excited. Every time I go to write, I feel inspired.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you keep it?
It's the first time I've ever really felt like that too. Like something completely original in my voice, or like excited to sit down and write. Like when I get an idea, I need to pull down over to the side of the road and like write it down or type it in my phone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Kind of amazing, actually. I don't know. I would think that at a certain point people just kind of feel overwhelmed or just blocked.
And I'm kind of misusing all this money that my mom and grandmother got me for this trip and moving away, but now I have it, and I can kind of put together a budget to produce this thing to look like it's a real comedy show. And my initial thought at first was 300 people, and it's a crazy dream to think of 1,000 people. But
Have you eaten some more coffee?
yeah,
Yes, now we can do more coffee. I just finished.
And do y'all need some more cream?
yes,
Yes, please, lots. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's incredible, though. I really do.
Like, I kind of want to. I feel like it's sort of a paranoid exercise, but I want to write down a list numbered 1,000 and write down all the people I know that I think I could get to come, and then find out how many tangentially people I need to get to come to it.
Right.
That's what I got so far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And since that's the Waynesboro High School, I'm definitely showing up for that.
Oh, yeah.
You and I mean, seriously, like anyone I know on a close level at all personally, if they're not there with everyone they know, I'm gonna be pretty fucking pissed.
I'm sure.
Like you and Kristen and Paul and Otto, you better at least try to get your family to come.
I can definitely get my family to go.
You need to get someone to babysit your kid.
That's easy.
But then how's the babysitter gonna come see you?
It's ruined. The whole event is ruined.
That night there are 999 people there.
No.
Everyone who came to your party, if you have that much contact with them, you better make sure they're there.
Yeah, it's like I didn't even know half those fucking kids.
But the people you know those people somehow.
I suppose you're right.
I'm just gonna bug everyone.
What
I
if they
know
don't?
about
What if they
bugging.
just invited like completely random people in off the street?
That'd be amazing, as long as there are people there.
We did. The Groove Cats did that once. They just ran around downtown Stanton, just inviting random freaking people off the street to come see the show, and a bunch of them did. I mean, they got like 10 people doing that.
Good.
And it was like 2 of them were like these. It was like this elderly couple.
Nice.
It was just like, yeah, no, come see our comedy show, and they're like, okay, sure.
Gotta get all the people from Groove Cat to come.
Oh, I'm sure they'd come. No, I guarantee that.
So between everyone we just named just now, I'm sure we came up with like 15 people, tangentially at least.
Yeah.
So that's not hard. 2 friends, 15 people. I'll use that equation. You're ridiculous. Otto orders some coffee with his sugar.
I just took the cap off of the pour container of sugar and just dumped a bunch of it in here.
The thing I like doing about this podcast,
That's good.
the thing I like about this podcast the most is I kind of find you and inspiring.
Yeah, and
And it
I
just
find it so much fun. It's like
Yeah.
it's always entertaining.
What? What?
Being here at this podcast, it's like you know,
Yeah.
it's never a dull moment.
I agree. It's fun. It's fun to try to amuse each other. That's really like the hope in the back of my mind with everything I'm writing. I'm just like, man, I hope they'll think this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think of that so far, Ken?
Oh, I've just started to read it.
God damn it!
I can't wait till we get to the storyboarding.
Oh man, that's gonna
That's gonna
be.
be so much fun.
I mean, especially considering that you just storyboarded like most of a scene while we were writing it.
You could have it all done now.
You could seriously have it knocked out in like a day or two.
Just do it when your kids watch some cartoons.
Which is all the time.
Do it.
Well, hey, you can do it on your phone. Do it at work.
I really can, yeah.
I mean, it's like you stand around holding a sign all day. You could stand around holding a sign and storyboarding. It's like you're doing 2 things at once.
Actually, the days I get to stand around and hold a sign means I'm gonna actually have a good day at work.
Oh.
You look so sad.
It's terrible.
He's pretty defeated.
It's pretty, yeah.
I mean, like, sometimes I think I
It's
should
like
just go
I'll
to his...
beep at him like as I'm coming up on him, and like his reaction time from being a zombie of how sad he is at the job, I'll have gone by him and be down the road before he's like, somebody notice me. Hey.
And I'll wave, and I'm like, he can't even see me now.
It's like one time I just randomly took a detour, and it just ended up that it was like in a back residential road off of King, and I just ended up seeing him there. I pulled up, and I was like, "Do you have any gray poupon?" And then just sped off.
That was crazy.
Wait, did I say that, or was that... I don't fucking remember. Or was that somebody else? No, that was your boss that said that. What did I say? I'm mixing up stories.
Oh, you
I hate
read
when
my
I do-
sign because I had turned it around for you and it said slow. And you just looked at me and just kind of took your foot off the gas and the brake and just kind of crawled. And you were like, you got it, boss. You just kind of kept going. Just very slow. The fucking Brandon came over and walked in. Why the fuck is this guy moving so slowly? And I was like, it's Otto. And I could just hear Brandon go, God damn it.
I miss that guy. Whatever happened to him?
He works so damn much. He doesn't have time for anyone anymore.
Does he have another job?
No.
Oh, he just does that all the time?
Yeah, but since he's crew chief, I mean, he doesn't really get a day off.
Oh, man. Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody told... I don't care how much you have to pay me. There is no way I would ever, like, work 7 days a week every single... I mean, like, you might be able to get me 1 weekend off every 2 weeks if the pay was really good.
Yeah.
But I would need time off work occasionally. Because I can't...
You get
function
burned
like
out
that.
and just...
You'll die.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I would die. I would super die. I mean, like they wouldn't even have to bury me. I'd just sort of disintegrate right there.
Like, when I worked those 13 days straight, I was just... Oh, I was so angry.
I mean, heck, I almost died doing that at Papa John's when we had that big power outage. You were so lucky you got fired before then, Ken.
How awesome was it that he was your boss?
Right?
Like,
I mean,
anytime I
it's so
think about
weird.
it now...
Oh, that's
Well,
weird
no,
to think about now.
yeah, no, it's like that's an age and a half ago now.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, we're co-workers at a freaking pizza joint under a tyrant boss.
Oh man.
I saw Travis yesterday.
Tell me about it.
I avoided him.
Oh.
No,
story.
No, I saw him at Kroger with some chick. I guess it was his mom or something.
Not his girlfriend?
Not his girlfriend. It might have been his girlfriend. I mean, he knows how to pick him, I'm sure. But no, I saw him last night. No,
Did it look like a chick I fucked?
Huh?
Did it look like a chick I fucked? Because if so, it was definitely Travis's mom.
Speaking of which, where are we going to insert them? What two goons are they? Travis and Mark. Because remember, I texted you that idea.
Stupid bank robbers. I really do.
I mean, because you remember, I texted you that, and you said it was the best idea ever.
Yes, that is. Explain.
Yeah. So those of you who are familiar with Ken's other podcast, so let's get to the point. There was an episode. It was the first episode I was on years ago, back when I was still working at Papa John's. About
It's just titled Vincent Ottobre.
Yeah. No, it's. I am awesome enough to warrant my own title. I was the title character. Who was the title character in Sucker Punch? The title. That movie didn't even have a main character.
The ending credits.
But no, the Emily Browning though. Yes. Anyway, okay, tangent. So basically, what happened was the episode talked about how Ken and I used to work at Papa John's, and was that right after you got fired?
It was a few months after.
Yeah, it was a few months after he got fired there by the boss, Mark, who, if you couldn't tell by the context of the conversation so far, is kind of a dick. And the manager, Travis, and, Mark plays favorites, and anyone Travis wanted fired gets fired, which is what happened to Ken. And so, a couple of weeks ago, I texted Ken the idea. I just had this idea in passing at work, and it was so good that I had to, stop working and text it to him. I was just like, Mark and Travis need to be two random goons that Batman beats up. And he just texted back, best idea ever. And I was like, okay. And it hasn't been brought up since. I don't think we brought it up on air.
Huh, that's funny. I would have sworn we did. We
might have. I don't remember.
No, I don't think we have, but, that's just it's hit me as such a good idea that, that to me is so, that's canon. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah, no. It's,
okay.
I think, so what, the...
It would be, the one that's full of himself that Batman takes out immediately, and then the one that is really scared, who shoots Batman, but at the end of the movie is full of himself. That has to be Travis, right? But then we'd be called racist.
What if they're just two society guards?
What if we actually got Travis and Mark to do the voices?
What if you ask them that?
I said we.
What if you ask them that?
I'll ask him.
And
you're in a position to see.
I don't know him.
Yeah, no, Sean's in a position to ask.
Yeah, you guys go independently. I'm making a Batman movie. I
You guys
need
could do
your
something.
voice specifically.
I don't know how this will work.
You're playing an idiot. I need to get you in a sound booth over the phone with the director because you can't be in the same room with them.
Yeah, I don't think this will work. It's a nice thought, though, but they never agree to that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, well, that's okay. No, I don't know if I can do a Mark impression. I don't think their voices are going to matter too much, as long as it's obviously them from appearance.
Can you speak to me like I'm a kindergartner?
No, I'd have to speak to you more like your dog shit. More like your dog shit that got in my drink.
That's bad drink.
More like dog shit that got on my pizza. So where are you at now, Ken?
Hold on.
Papa Joe's pork chops.
Papa Joe? Who's Papa Joe?
Papa Joe.
Who's
It's
Papa
his
Joe?
pork chops.
Poor bastard. Who wouldn't want two breasts?
It's better than one.
Kung Pao into the fist. He should have listened to that one boob chick.
That movie was funny.
God, I love that movie. It's just so stupid.
I'll admit, the first time I saw it, I hated it, but I was also like 9.
This is CNN. I was laughing for like 20 straight minutes. Yeah, I saw the last bit of that at my cousin's place. The first time I saw it was I saw the last hour and 20. I missed all but the first 10 minutes. I saw it at my cousin's place. He's this is the most hilarious movie ever. Just watch it. And then he went to bed. So I sat there and watched it by myself. I loved it. I didn't understand what was going on. And then when I eventually viewed the whole movie, I still didn't quite get it because I don't think anything happened. But
Right.
See, I want to see the original film that was based on, because it has to be just as ludicrous. I mean, the plot is at least similar.
Yeah.
He has those things embedded into him.
I would have liked to have seen that sequel.
The best part is when all those guys are charged over the hill, he's just like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was like, what? What are you doing? Steve Odekirk, man.
Yeah.
But then he ended up focusing on all like that barnyard stuff.
Yeah.
That was where he ended up. But he gave us Jimmy Neutron, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the creative force behind that.
And he tried with Barnyard. He really did.
I want to see an all-out, no-holds-barred battle between Jimmy Neutron and Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory.
Tell me he didn't have anything involved with that Planet Sheen spinoff.
I don't know. But it was his production company. I don't know if he himself had anything to do with it.
Did you hear Brian's back on Family Guy?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I heard about that last night.
I was like, that didn't take
What
long.
a clever ruse.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen. It's just like,
They got me.
well, it was just like when they pulled that 100th episode thing. It's just like, oh, none of this actually happened. It was all a dream.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. But no, it was somebody got an R.I.P. Brian tattoo on him, and I saw that picture, and it was just labeled "Bad Luck Brian."
I bet he's regretting that tattoo.
Oh yeah. I hope Seth MacFarlane saw that picture. Oh my god, that would be so rewarding if I were him.
Gotcha.
Still doing it right?
Yeah, we're doing great.
Can I get some more coffee? Thanks.
I could actually go for some more myself.
Your menu's different. You used to not be able to order 5 slices of bacon. Now you can.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Ken, what are you doing?
Just moving some lines around, working on that flow.
Thanks.
You need some more of your mountain of half.
Actually, we used to do these things. Back when I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, we used to do these things. We called them Denny's shots.
Yeah.
Because we went to the Denny's in Green after every Rocky Horror Picture Show, and we were there till like 4 in the morning. They freaking hated us. 'Cause we would come in, we would order like a stupid mountain of food. I mean, we always tipped well.
Yeah.
I don't see why they hated us. It's just, hey, there's this 2:30 in the morning rush from all the Rocky Horror people, and we went in still dressed like Rocky Horror people. So we're all there dressed as, like, you know, rapists and transvestites and shit.
Yeah.
And so we would do that, and it was just this big thing. But we would go in there and
Which
we
one
would...
were you?
Huh?
Which one were you?
I was dressed as Alex from A Clockwork Orange.
Rapist?
Yeah, that's where I got that. I've actually got a picture of me in that costume. It's on my phone somewhere. Because I went to the Rocky Horror in Norfolk recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, was it?
It was okay. It was okay. It was
They tried.
Well, no, the thing is, it is the second longest running Rocky in the United States and third longest in the world. So they've been doing it a long time. At the Narrow, ever been to Norfolk and seen the Narrow?
I've been in Norfolk. I've never seen the nails.
Okay, well, anyways, but yeah, they do it. The thing, one of the things that got me the best about Rocky though was just because everyone knew who I was. Like, people knew who I was when they saw me, because my dad was cast in the show and I looked just like him. I mean, people would come up and just be like, "Hey, are you Steve's kid?" And so I had this sort of recognition there, that's something I get out of Groove Cat comedy now, is that I'm so in with everyone that's there. I mean, it's just I've got this sense of sort of like a family outside of family sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is what I loved about it, and I just didn't get that in Norfolk. I mean, the show was the same. The lines were different. Some of them were actually better. I thought some of them were clever, but yeah, no, we would go in there and we would do these Denny's shots where we'd take like a thing of coffee creamer,
Yeah.
and then we would pour
Sugar in
a
it.
blasphemous amount of sugar in it, partially to stay awake, partially to use all their damn creamer.
And just slam it back.
Ah, that brings back some memories.
So I need to go to the Dixie sometime soon.
What's at the Dixie?
2 movies I really want to see. I'll settle for one.
Johnny, some more cookies?
I haven't started on this yet.
No, they've done it. Yeah, they just got in American Hustle, and I really want to see it.
I really want to too. It's at the Zeus though too.
I heard the Dixie was sold, so I want to go there one last time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because they had the best popcorn.
Didn't you used to work there?
Yeah.
You've had a lot of jobs, Sean.
That's probably the best job I ever had.
Oh, come on. What about that time you worked at Ross?
Yeah, that was great. That was real great.
You love that, right?
Yeah, I regret none of that. Except all of them.
You didn't give me that stack of those, good job tickets or whatever they were.
I never went back. I did another week.
Never looked back.
Yeah. Like, the week that I just didn't show up at was the day of my 1-year anniversary there.
Oh, man. That's something.
Yeah.
You worked there for a whole year? I can't believe that.
Yeah, I was there for an entire year. Wasted.
How does this... Oh, I keep getting the sugar clod.
Yeah.
There's one same clod.
Why don't you just take the lid off again?
Because I can't measure it out as easily that way. I just did that to see if you guys would notice. You did eventually. Took longer than I thought. The hell are you doing, Ken? Are you writing, or are you just...
Alright, I sort of moved around some lines to flow better, and I continued it just a little bit, so...
Okay, cool.
If you want to reread it from the top of the page...
I'm curious as to how reading it will work in here, but we'll try
just
it.
read it to yourself, out loud. Just do what we did at your place.
Okay. All right,
Or you can just say Batman and Rach before your lines if you don't want to sound dumb.
No matter what you do, I will stand victorious. You're not the first to stand against me. I'll be the first to stop you. You're the latest of 17 challengers to believe so, but you don't have the strength to commit to your cause. A few of them resembled a challenge, Jonah Hex and yourself among them. I'm flattered to have such a reputation. Don't be. Your refusal to take a life is a weakness shared with the very first. Appropriate, then, that I'll succeed as your last. Who was he trying to save? Raish crosses to a mantle and gazes at a staff on display. Just as you, he believed he was serving the best of mankind.
That's as far as I got. It's really not much farther at all, so...
No.
It's a slow process.
I love that when Batman's like, I'm flattered, and Raish is like, don't be. I like that.
Me too.
So, but who is he trying to save line, though? That seems a little off.
Because you read it wrong. It's who is he trying to save?
Oh, okay. Should that be italicized, then?
I don't know. I if you want.
Damn it. Help! I didn't click help. Go away. I don't
You did it wrong.
The little paperclip dude comes up. It looks like you're being a dumbass. Need some help?
I haven't seen that guy in years.
You know what I wish they had? I wish they had like a sarcastic version of that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Paper Dick.
Paper Dick.
His name is Mr. Clippy.
Is it?
I think so.
That guy was awesome.
He never helped me do anything.
No, he showed up when you didn't want him.
But he was a friend.
He was afraid it was just like,
He's a fond memory.
what you doing? Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. I approve of your writing.
Looks like you're trying to take
do it better though.
Looks like you're trying to take a shower. Need some help with that?
It's like Nami in fucking Legends Zelda. Hey, listen!
Alright, so, yeah, I italicized that. Go into him talking about what that guy was doing, what it meant to Raish, what Raish was doing there.
Okay. What was the year that... Do you happen to remember the year off the top of your head?
1463.
1463, thank you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
But I'm letting you off the hook.
Yeah, he doesn't know this.
You never have to do it again.
Thank you.
It's just a bodily function.
Yeah, one time back when we were working at Papa John's, he gave me he didn't give me shit, but
Did you give him shit?
but he was like, no, you don't have to do that, man. I just found it so weird. We eventually came to an agreement that I'll tell him bless you, and he can ignore it, so he doesn't have to say thank you.
Or you could have yelled, science!
Science.
I don't believe there's a God blessing me, but there is science happening.
It's just kind of habit, I guess.
Yeah.
You hear someone sneeze and remember that from now on. I'm going to say science. I like that.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't come up with that. That's a Chris Hardwickism.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it, yeah.
I am Jackson, patient curiosity.
Just kidding. Take your time. Just wanted to reference Fight Club.
Okay, this is one I get often, but I love David Fincher as a director, and I think Curious Case of Benjamin Button was amazing.
Yeah.
You agree?
It's one of my favorite movies.
Me too.
It's beautiful.
I'm still good.
I'm okay for right now.
And do y'all still want to wait to order?
Yeah, for a little bit, I think.
Just let me know.
We're going to be here for a little while. We're actually writing stuff.
That's
So that's...
okay. It's a slow
We have
one
a
anyway,
goal to hit before we leave.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Everyone I talk to just says it's so boring and not
I know.
good.
Everywhere I've heard that. I mean, I've met very few people who like it. It is very long, but it's all real beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks so pretty, and I think it's very well written. I love it.
I dragged a buddy of mine to go see it opening night, Christmas Day, and I remember walking out thinking that movie was amazing, and he was like, that movie was boring as shit, and I was like, yeah, it was totally, it was bad, it was so boring.
Yeah. A lot of
loved
people
it.
think that. Me too, man. I like a lot of his movies. I didn't really care for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo too much.
It was okay,
Yeah. It wasn't bad, but I don't really want to watch it again.
I mean, I thought The Social Network was beautiful.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
Really?
Perfectly paced movie. Amazing.
Lighting,
It's
man.
amazing 2 hours.
Aaron
Straight through.
Sorkin.
Yep.
Brilliant writer. Even Charlie Wilson's score was incredible.
And like that movie.
Really?
Plus, Arlene Sorkin, Harley Quinn.
Yeah. That one.
Related.
Yeah.
Not related in conversation, but related by blood.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Arlene Sorkin.
No, it's Arlene Sorkin. I think Aaron Sorkin is what, her son?
I don't know.
Yeah, she
But they-
is old though.
Yeah, it's they are related.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no, they are related.
Huh.
I forget how. I think Aaron Sorkin is her son. I'm not 100% sure. It might be a brother. I don't remember.
I will find out and report back.
We'll just look it up on your phone. We have technology. Okay, use it.
Okay.
You didn't care for Charlie Wilson's War?
No. I mean, I saw it when it first came out. I might like it now.
Yeah. So do you have like a number one favorite movie?
Whenever anyone asks me that, there are a few that pop in my mind, but I don't ever want to pick just one.
Yeah, of course.
Signs and American Beauty. High Fidelity.
Oh, great. One of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole bunch from a bunch of different genres and stuff. I mean, I think it's so hard to pick a favorite movie.
I do too. I usually just try and say, well, one, we've got a top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
Movies you could just continuously watch over and over again and love it every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my brother Matt's, his favorite is Clue.
Huh.
You can watch that movie all day.
I like that movie a lot. Okay, on both of their Wikipedia pages, it doesn't say anything about the other. And I heard her Batman on Batman podcast where she like discussed her whole life, and she didn't mention Aaron Sorkin at all.
I thought they were related.
I mean,
No, I mean, like, I remember reading that once, that they were related.
I'm looking. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it.
Maybe I'm imagining shit, and I heard something that didn't happen. They should be related. I think that'd be awesome. Has Kevin Smith been doing any more of those?
Oh my God, he did something cool. We'll have to talk about with it. We can talk about it now or whatever, but yeah.
All right, what is it?
Okay. He had not the latest episode. Well, the latest episode had Paul Dini on it too, but it was part 2. But 2 episodes ago, he did this episode called "The Shadow of the Bat," part 1, and him and Dini talked for like 25 minutes about different shit, and I feel like I might have told you guys this, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, they start talking about the Arkham Origins trailer that's only like a minute long, but there's like no dialogue. It's just like a shot of like Bruce's face as a child, like when he's happy with his parents, and then the moment his parents die, and then like in the police station, then like him getting older until he becomes Batman. It's just like a shot that like keeps going, and at one point, like it's like prep school, like boarding school Bruce, like that age, like in between boy and man, and like Bruce is like, I wonder what Bruce is like at that age, like. And as a precursor to this, I've already told you guys what he did with Tusk. He just sort of talked about it on a podcast. He was like, this will be a cool idea, made it into a movie. And now it's going to be a thing that comes out next year that we can all see. And, yeah, and, like it's already shot and edited and everything. Yeah. And so he and Paul Dini start talking about what, like, hypothetically it would be like if they had this prep school Bruce Wayne show, and like what they would do in the age of like prequels and reboots and pre-boots and universe connections between franchises and everything, and like what they're going with Arrow and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you just like have him stay at a boarding school, and Harvey Dent's his roommate. Like, they just sort of start, like, joking about it at first. But then, like, they start thinking about it on, like, a seasonal level and, like, what they would do and, like, what they would reveal in, like, each episode and what would an overarching story would be and different side stuff you would have going on. And, like, they, like, started talking about how, like, the title of it would be The Shadow of the Bat. And, like, it just started to sound so cool. And then, like, Kevin's hot off this Tusk thing going, like, man, we could really make this happen. People would watch and love the fuck out of this. And then Paul Dini's like, yeah, all those writers that I know, apparently Paul Dini worked on Lost, which I never knew. But he was like, all the writers that I know are just huge comic geeks, and if we told Damon Lindelof about this, he would shit his pants if he got involved in something like this. And, like, they just started talking about it, like, so realistically. And during the Tusk podcast, the original podcast where he told that story that evolved into the movie idea, he was like, if you guys think this is a movie idea, I want you to tweet at me #WalrusYes. And if you think I'm an idiot and crazy, send me #WalrusNo. And he got like 6 walrus no's, and he got like thousands and thousands of walrus yeses. So I finished that podcast, which was so enthralling to listen to, of this new one with Paul Dini, and tweeted at them both, #Shadow of the Bat, yes. Yeah. It was so amazing, like, to listen to, like, them
Just joke about an idea, and then it just...
Well, yeah, but, like, listen to them have an inception as an idea, and then as writers in the same room together, just think about it like we do, but on, like, professional people level who have been doing it for 20 years, but just, like, thinking of, like, maybe we could do this, or we could do this, we could take it in this direction. It was just like hearing the pros do what we do, sort of.
That's pretty fucking
It was
awesome.
the coolest thing.
Man.
Yeah. It's called The Shadow of the Bat Part 1, and it starts maybe 25 minutes into it. They start on that subject, but I recommend it. I recommend it.
That's crazy. Did they do a part 2, or?
I've listened to part 2, and they've talked about it a little bit. I mean, I'm like 25 minutes, maybe half an hour into it. It's like an hour and a half long. I'm not that far into it, but they're sort of just talking about this new Batman cartoon that's on now.
That thing.
How's the reaction to that so far?
Kevin likes it. Deanie likes it. Maybe Deanie's working on it. I'm not sure.
Oh, is he? I knew he just wrote that Maleficent movie.
Did he? That's nuts. That's cool.
Just seems so fitting making a movie about a villain.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. I didn't know he wrote that. Otto's in the zone. In the zone. Otto's in the bat zone. Bat zone. Saving that battery. Dimming that screen. Making out a squint zone. Squint zone.
There's a new theme song right there.
Oh, yeah. Phase 2. It sucks that we've made it this far and that has stayed our theme song because now it can never change.
I like the theme song.
I just hate my stupid voice. I like the song.
We could do, like, what I wanted to do is for, like, a special episode or something like that, do, like, an orchestral version of the theme song. Just for shits and giggles.
Or like a choir harmonizing edition.
Mm-hmm. Or like when we had the 6-month episode.
I actually separated that audio and tried to fit it in with my music, but everybody started singing faster and going out of time, and I couldn't do it.
But were you able to just get it together?
Yeah, but you can't lay it over the music.
Right. Because, like, I haven't actually been listening to these because I'm in them.
I know.
It's just like, I know what happened.
How many did you listen to before you stopped? It was at least like 10 or 12, right?
I think the last one I listened to was actually the Return of the Joker commentary.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that was a while ago.
I've listened to all of them.
Oh, yeah, and I listened to the Batmark. Wait, of course you listen to all of them. We're going to have to do another Batmark soon.
When we're done with phase 1, yes.
So we're just going to wait until we get done with the screen. Well, because I think we should do a tiny Batmark just for when we get the rough draft done and the whole editing. I don't know what you think about that.
No, we're close enough. We're not going to do 2 Batmarks a month apart.
Okay. But that'll definitely be a saga. All in next month's just going to be like a string. It's like a saga.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through and do that. Have you gotten in touch with Gobbledygook yet?
Not for a specific date, no.
Okay. We might want to start thinking about that, because
Alright, I'll ask him right now.
Okay, cool.
Should I say mid-January?
Huh?
Mid-January?
Probably early January. I mean, because it was...
I'll tell them early to mid-January because I want to let them pick the day.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
just say that. Early to mid.
Last one I listened to was This Is Batman Country.
That was a fun episode.
That was a fun one.
There were very little notes taken for that episode. That's how I know we just bullshit the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's back when Chris used to be on regularly.
We need him on again. Well, he's gonna be... We're gonna have him on when he... I mean, he can read, right?
Who?
Chris.
Christian? Yeah.
Well, no, I was talking about his brother Chris.
Oh, yeah. He was on a lot.
Yeah, Chris and Matt can come back for. You think they should come back for an episode for because we're gonna have a bunch of different episodes of people voicing their complaints. Oh God, this movie is fucking terrible. What do you guys do?
Yeah.
It's just like you spent a year on this.
Went by a dog. Batman went.
Batman was all. Ooh. No, I think they're gonna like it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I know Chris wants to do one soon, so he can give all three of us our gifts.
Oh, okay, cool. He's just gonna give us our. He wants to give us our gifts on air.
Yeah, because I think they're all Batman related.
Okay.
He didn't say that, but he didn't have to. He was like, I want to give it to the three of you guys at the same time on the show. And I was like, yeah, they're all Batman related. Not that I have a problem with that. I know one of yours, though. Step outside for a minute.
I'm in the zone. Go away.
We know. Didn't you hear Ken's song?
I did hear Ken's song.
Do you like it?
Huh?
Do you like it?
I'll have to edit it. I'll do a pass on it.
You better tell me them fingers been flying since I left.
Oh, yeah, no. Cool. I got damn near at the end of page 71, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, at the bottom of page 71. Almost in 72. Wrote almost a whole page.
Nice. I gotta say right now, guys, you gotta give it up for me because the hardest work I'll ever do on this project is editing down today's recordings into cohesive material for
Oh, no
an
kidding.
episode.
Like, I don't think we give you enough. Well, I mean, we don't ever not give you credit, but I don't think we give you enough credit for all that you do for this show.
You don't need to say that. I'm doing it because I want to do it. Don't worry. But thanks also, not to be so I'm not rude. That's Indiana, the dog.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch The Last Crusade.
I love The Last Crusade.
It's such a great movie.
It is.
I didn't hate the fourth Indiana Jones movie.
Me neither.
Better than the second one.
No, I don't know about all that.
I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to say, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was a much more watchable film than Temple of Doom.
But you only hate Temple of Doom so vehemently because of one element.
Which is a very big element. It's just like, you can hate something because of one thing.
Yeah, but on a script level, Temple of Doom is a better story and everything.
True. But a good story does not always make for a good movie. And vice versa. Now, of course, we're not going to make that the case here. But,
Yes.
yes, please.
Do y'all need some more cream?
Yeah.
Have I really...
We'll
Oh my
sift
God.
We'll sift these out real quick.
I have a problem, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, no, I gotta take a piss.
I'm going to have to, too. You go first. Yeah, I've been sitting here drinking coffee like water. Though, I mean, I guess at the same time, it's a drink, so it doesn't matter. That's great.
There you go.
I finished ready.
Right.
We're going to have to go in there across the streams, aren't we?
We almost did. Maybe shake hands with Ben Franklin.
What?
Polish the pewter.
Dicks aren't pewter.
Yours is? Oh,
Should I get that checked?
I'd get it looked at.
Mine's its own element. Ken Dick.
Where on the periodic table is that? What element number?
What element number?
Yeah.
KD.
KD. Ken's dick.
No project.
Batman.
Thank you.
I was sitting here just like, why did you stop?
You need the line, you'll never stop it. I kind of like it just Abaddon ends on, you like the Alchemist.
He needs to link that sentence to that sentence. Like I said, we can edit it, but I think what I got right now is pretty decent.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to disagree with that.
Okay, I've gotten up to the action sequence done.
Did you include your line about the exact number of how many people he had killed?
I was going to, but I decided against it just because, like,
That's
it's
too much work.
No. I decided against it just because that would be. It's a good callback, but I feel it's kind of a stretch. Like I thought it would be a really nice line, but when I was thinking about the scene,
You don't think it would come across like that's the goal he's been obsessed with since then?
I don't know. How about this? You read what I got. I gotta pee.
Okay.
Oh,
Can't
man.
pee until you see my masterpiece. I'm almost done.
You're making a mess,
No, I'm cleaning up a mess.
but you're making more of a mess.
No, I'm not. Don't you blame me for shit.
Yeah, no. See, I know you put that on the table and then you put it back in the cup just to see, just to show me up, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Good job. Okay. It's somewhere on page 70. Have fun with it.
Okay.
16.
Oh god, a sugar clod fell out of this thing in one of my coffee. Big one. It was the deadliest catch. Whatever happened to sugar cubes? You don't see those in stores?
I haven't seen her in forever.
What?
Bad joke.
Is there a person named Sugar Cubes? I didn't know that.
No, there's not. That's why it was a bad joke.
Oh.
I like it. I think it's a little verbose and slightly redundant. I think some stuff can be moved on like a pass or a re-edit.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's exactly what we wanted.
Okay. Redundant. We can work on verbose. We have to
It's
remember
fine.
that is how Raish talks.
Yeah.
But
that's
okay,
fine.
so I just wanted to bring that up. Anything redundant, yeah, we can get rid of. But anything verbose,
I'm just
that's
saying,
how Raish talks.
Just like I edited, like.
Oh, are you talking just the descriptions of stuff?
Yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, exactly. Like
Okay, there was one that I had that I thought might be, but I wanted your opinion on it. I forget what one it was. It was something about like the his staff hung on the wall like some hunting trophy.
Right.
Yeah, did you take that one out?
No, I mean I haven't adjusted it at all. Like it was a fine. It read great.
Yeah, because I think that helps set that tone there.
Mhm.
I don't know if I don't know if that's something we would want to keep in, but I think I don't think that's going too descriptive
Right.
for anything. But then again, it might be. I don't know. Like I said, you're the one who knows a little more on that, having read more screenplays than myself. So I'll.
As far as I'm concerned, right now, we're just trying to plow through this. That read great. I'm not. I mean, even before this stuff we wrote before this, like little session we did over the past hour or so, like I was adjusting your stuff you wrote earlier. I'm just going to leave this as it is and move forward because it achieves what we're trying to achieve. We'll just like everything else, we'll flesh out the details later. So I like that.
Before we copy paste the action sequence, that's what we were going to do, right?
Well, I mean, in essence, yeah.
Let's just read that real quick.
Okay.
That thing.
I'll bring up because I got you to redo it. Remember, all as one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I wrote that as I would have wrote that scene.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think because I was doing it really quickly, it ended up not being so verbose. I was just trying to get bullet points more than anything else.
Right.
So I think it might actually just be good as is. Though I think I've had a couple of ideas since then for how we can tweak the fight a little bit, make it maybe just a little bit longer. Because I want it to be a reasonably long fight sequence, even with the intercut and Talia. Because like if you think about like the best part of Phantom Menace was obviously the lightsaber duel at the end.
Yeah.
And that in itself, you just take the whole duel and put it together as one scene. The scene is 7 minutes long.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Now, of course, that is a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah. But you want to get an essence of that. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like I want.
You want the drama to build through just action.
Right, and that's how I always pictured that scene. Is like, okay, now Batman is fighting essentially a psychotic Superman. We have to bring that up in the dialogue. I don't know if that's in those notes, but that actually is important that he brings that up, because otherwise it's not going to make any sense at all.
Hey, I think
We've never seen Raish punch a dude across a room.
I think you should read through all of these climax notes.
Okay, I can do that.
It'll take you a few minutes, but we're here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
because I think it'll eventually end up at the fight, and there's a few things just left over there anyway.
Okay, just right at the top of this page?
Yeah.
Okay. After a lengthy obstacle...
Oh, you don't have to do it out loud. If you want, you can.
I'm not going to do it out loud.
Okay. I was just saying if there was anything we had in there from talking about this sequence so many times that we might have left out or wanted to see.
I didn't mention that. That might be worth mentioning. That the Abaddon enzyme targets human cells. That's just a little thing we'll throw in there.
Yeah. I'll make note of it when I'm noting this.
Okay, cool.
But you just bring up anything that stands out of there.
And then he didn't have the means to synthesize enough of the cure until recently, and that's why he started doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, so that explains why he
could say
waited 400 years.
Yeah, we could say he's been working on this lab or whatever, part of his plan for a long time.
Okay.
Do you want to read through what you wrote to put it on a podcast?
Huh?
The last few pages you wrote, do you want to read that out loud so it gets on the podcast?
Yeah, we can. I thought we were going to do a read of the whole thing.
Okay, I'm just saying, maybe in the next hour or a few pages, or as you read notes or something will get adjusted, and then maybe later we'll be like, no, I liked how that was originally.
Okay, yeah, let's yeah, that's a good point. Let's do that. Okay, let me read just what I did.
Yeah, just start from where we left off from before.
Okay. So where we're at is, we'll start with, Raish says, no matter what you do, I will stand victorious. You're not the first to stand against me. I'll be the first to stop you. You're the latest of 17 challengers to believe so. But you don't have the strength to commit to your cause. A few of them resembled a challenge, Jonah Hex and yourself among them. I'm flattered to have such a reputation. Don't be. Your refusal to take a life is a weakness shared with the very first. Appropriate, then, that I'll succeed as your last. Who is he trying to save? Raish crosses to a mantel and gazes at a staff on display. Just as you, he believed he was serving the best of mankind. The screen fades to a flashback at the interior alchemist cabin, night 1463. The alchemist is making the Black Plague cure at his bench. He was an alchemist, trying to make a cure. The Black Death that devastated Europe was long over, but the plague still claimed lives from time to time. The alchemist succeeded in making his cure, but I could not allow him to spread it. Exterior, country road, day. Assassins overtake a covered wagon carrying the cure, killing the occupants and destroying the vial. Raish voiceover. I managed to make sure no sample of the cure ever made it to the Vatican, where it could be put to use. You see, the plague was an equalizer, so to speak. A way to keep humanity's numbers stable. Interior alchemist cabin, night. Several more assassins enter the alchemist cabin, and he quickly defeats them all. Raish voiceover. However, my assassins could not defeat him, no matter how many I sent. I decided to face him myself. Interior alchemist cabin, night, later. Raish enters the cabin, and we see a quick montage of him and the alchemist's fight from the beginning of the movie. Raish voiceover again. At last we fought, but I was no match. He had my life in his hands. We see the alchemist with the shattered bottle at Raish's throat. I wrote Batman's throat for some reason. And he wouldn't kill me. I capitalized on this and ended him. The flashback ends and we fade back to interior, Raish's fortress, throne room, present. Raish looks smugly at Batman. And so, even a more skilled warrior than myself fell to my blade. All because he was too weak to finish his opponent. His weapon was a staff. That staff, in fact. Raish indicates the alchemist's staff, on a display on the wall, like some hunting trophy. Raish continued. Not a sword, not a bow, just a staff. And in his inaction, he allowed millions to die. Not just through his weakness, but through his strengths. What do you mean? The alchemist cure, along with a sample of the Lazarus pit, is the principal component in my Abaddon enzyme. and you'll never stop it. You, like the alchemist before you, are just a feeble coward, too weak to do what he must. No more words, Raish. I don't have to kill you to make you pay for every life you've taken with this psychotic killing spree. Such a fool. Okay, that's what I got.
It's awesome. I liked it.
Yeah. When you did your edits, you just left in a bunch of the words, and I don't know what the hell's going on.
My bad. Oh. So now you can go back to reading through this.
Oh yeah, that's right, because I'm not done doing stuff.
Sorry.
But yeah, we need to make it apparent that he talks about how he has at least a portion of Superman's powers, which is the only reason that he can hold his own against Batman in that suit at all.
Okay, I can work that in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know how I can work that in. What?
Oh god. Retaliatory, and then you capitalize the T, so it's retaliatory.
Oh.
You do a lot of shit like that.
It's all about rhyming and pushing words together, really. It's comedy these days.
It says, the Lazarus Pit, should it be hidden in the room, and is this a big reveal, or just out, open, and badass in the center of the room?
I had it in the last one, where it was just sort of like hidden by the tapestry until he walked back to it in the Clock King scene. But we didn't really address it.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it should be a centerpiece, like almost like it's in the middle of the room.
Okay.
You know?
All right. We just hadn't made reference to it before, so I think that's why I made it, made reference to us not seeing it before, like it being hidden behind stuff. But as we go back through, we can reference that it's in there.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it just being a centerpiece too.
Yeah, it's like something we have to remember is that
he sort of worships it.
Yeah, we changed the location, so what we're actually going to have is the power to design the set of the whole room. Now we have to design a whole new building.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same one, which actually I kind of like.
Yeah.
Because it would have been really weird for Batman to, like, in Out of the Past, go to, oh crap, this is where I defeated Raish. Didn't we blow most of this place up?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think Talia would have been very fond of being there either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's interesting.
Are y'all still doing alright?
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Oh man, I wrote a lot.
You just said to her.
I'm sorry. I'm caught up in this.
No, she didn't even notice. It was just funny to watch.
Yeah, I guess basically just take this and format it like a screenplay, and yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that's extraneous that I have to be taken out, but for the most part, that works. Like, I can follow that.
Okay.
Because that's seriously, like, altogether, that's probably like a straight page and a half of action. Yeah. I'm considering, though we'll want to actually space that because it is an action sequence to make it last the whole
absolutely.
fight. So,
well, I mean,
that's actually probably closer to 4 pages of shit.
yeah, I do spacing by drama, not by I'm not. Obviously, yes. As a general rule, the
spacing by pacing. If it's a slow-paced scene, because like I understand what you were saying before. If it's a slow-paced scene, the whole thing could be in like a paragraph. But the quicker it gets, the longer it should be, right?
As a general rule, yes, a page number equals a minute. But there are like it just.
But
Depends.
you said that's what we want to do for action sequences, correct?
Right. Yeah. If as far as the dramatic moments are concerned, you just want it to flow, just like any other dramatic, conflicting build-up. So yeah, if it's relevant to the scene and the moment between characters, absolutely you space it dramatically.
What I didn't realize that we had there was we don't have just the climax there, but the scene after that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. All we got to do is tweak that until we've got it, and we've got it. And when I do my pass on it, we'll because that's what we're gonna do after we get this completed. Is we're all gonna just what I think we should do instead of going through and just editing it is that we should all go through and make notes the same way our test readers are going to.
Yeah, I
and that
agree.
way everything we just throw it out and put our
agree.
dicks on the table.
I agree.
So what are you doing over here, Sean? It's a hound hour. Oh, you're just drawing random scribbling?
Yeah, it's after Batman got shot in the chest.
Oh, okay. What's this?
That's what.
There's like his bat shadow here or something.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, okay, that's his. It was hard to tell without seeing the whole thing. Okay, now I get it.
All right, look, I'm gonna suggest something. We have through these notes so many different iterations for the fight, and then the sequence afterwards, which is Raish and Talia, like him switching bodies and all that stuff, and then through the end of the movie. Like, we've said that through so many times. There's so many notes here that really now it's just a matter of putting those together and putting it onto final draft. All of these notes are pretty much just verbatim me typing what you said from previous podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no. The what you have there, the biggest thing, was what you told me. You wanted me to just type it out.
I'm talking about. I just meant like as far as each bullet point of notes I have. That's me taking verbatim from you, and then there's also that climax.
Yeah, because I wrote that
out.
Yeah, that's
so. I'm saying I could suggest right here that, like, hey, by next time we meet, I could just put all that together, since it's basically your writing anyway. And then just present that next time, since we're all caught up with everything.
Cool.
And we could call it a night here and just order and
start
enjoy
the next
ourselves.
podcast with a bang.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we still got to finalize scenes 30 and 31.
Yes.
So
that'll be how we start out after we read through everything next time. And then I think next time we'll also skim through just sort of everything and look at chronologically, like, sort of canon beats within the story to see how things line up. Maybe do an overall with the script in front of us, but then therefore overview, make sure everything flows right, and then I'll print us out copies and we'll each edit our own. So by two episodes from now, we'll be editing our real rough draft. Cool. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Amazing. Okay, I'm just saying. I hope you don't mind that I'm not saying, like, suggesting that I write this ending without you. I'm saying you already have it written. Pretty much.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. That's okay. And I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Okay. Cool.
So wrap that up. Wrap up the last two scenes. Movie's finished.
Yeah.
I mean, at least a rough draft is, and that's.
I'm just gonna leave this recording though.
Yeah. now we can just BS over dinner.
Yeah. Here, lady. Waffle lady. Waffle elf. Waffle elf.
Waffle elf. Is that our episode title?
Batman and the Waffle elf. Batman meets the Waffle elf. I like it.
Or we could almost make a Harold and Kumar go to White Castle reference.
Batman and Talia go to Waffle House. Or it would really be Batman and Raish this time.
Yeah, Batman and Raish go to Waffle House. Talk out their differences.
Yeah.
I love how
after Gordon dies, that's who Batman hangs out with at diners.
It's just like him and Ra's al Ghul just go shoot the shit.
Yeah.
This is like, well, how you doing, Ra's?
You know what I love? I love that we have one scene with Gordon, one scene with the Joker, and one scene with Superman, and it's not just like Nolan just using the name Robin as fan service. Like, it's all relevant to the story. Like, we're not just showing the Joker and just showing Superman and just showing Gordon just because, like, hey, won't this make you happy to see them? Like, it all works out.
Yeah, no. It's like, I don't think, like, when we get this done, I don't think there is a single scene in this movie that I would take out.
Yeah.
Like, that's something.
That's something you can't say about right here. That's something you can't say about a lot of movies. Like, there's a lot of boring scenes to get to great scenes in movies.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's like I don't think there's a single scene that someone would find boring in here.
Yeah.
At least I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same way. It was the same way with Joker. It was the same way with Phantasm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, that's what you need. Is every scene in a movie has to serve a purpose, and as far as I'm concerned, I think every scene does.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah. No, I think we are doing great, and once we get this hammered out, I mean, we got a lump of clay here. And it started out as water and dirt.
Yeah.
Now we got that mixed all we got to do is turn it into a Batman sculpture.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my favorite.
Or actually, no, we've got it mostly turned into a Batman sculpture now. All we need to do is put it in the oven.
Yeah.
I like how we didn't pull a Poochie moment or a Sopranos moment. Like, no one is going to watch this movie and think, where's Batman? What's he doing?
Yeah.
Why are these other people here?
And hopefully, like, it doesn't have to spell out, like, this is what happened between Batman the Animated Series and beyond. Like, it just makes sense. Like,
it is a perfect standalone story.
He became that shitty old man, and we don't have to spell that out for you. This is how it happened.
Yeah. And I think that's something we really need to hit the hammer on in scene 30.
Yeah.
That's an important thing.
He no matter what he did, and even though the news says everyone's all rejoicing that that he's happy, he isn't happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He sort of wishes he had died. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be looking at this menu ordering food now.
You don't know what you want? What are you waiting on waitresses for?
I've been writing a movie with these two assholes. Oh shit. Now what?
I'm just saying, what self-respecting American doesn't know what's on a Waffle House menu by now?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, we had some sort of ginger in our group that could help us just really... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a good thing we got it's a good thing we got Harry Potter on meth over here.
But the other part was a compliment. It was Harry Potter on meth and John Stamos. See, it was a negative and a compliment.
That was when you looked really tan.
Yeah, it's kind of gone away now.
It has. I mean, you used to be practically black.
You look at that menu.
Shut up. I'll kill you and everything you stand for.
I'm gonna go pee so you can't threaten me. So you.
There's a pretty convenient ditch over there at the end of the parking lot. Was that too far?
Only just. Only just.
Isn't that what I'm for, though?
Exactly what you're for.
God, I got a headache from drinking all that caffeine.
Do you really?
Yeah.
And you got louder too.
Did I?
All night y'all been quiet and I didn't even remember y'all were ever here.
Well, see, we've been getting to humorous parts in our podcast. I think we've been relatively good, though. I mean, we haven't. Shit, we did scare everybody off, didn't we?
It was you.
Everyone is gone.
It was you.
Everyone.
So you're actually broadcasting?
We're not broadcast. This is going to be edited. You don't have to worry because what we're saying now is going to be edited out.
Okay.
So don't worry. Nobody is going to be.
That do that. So.
Mm-hmm. No, we're actually in the middle of writing a movie. So we've been working on it almost a year now. And that's what we're doing now. We just decided to do the rest of it at Waffle House because fuck, I'm hungry.
And coffee.
And coffee, yeah. Coffee is writing fuel. Well, it's like if you had a car that instead of putting you from A to B wrote stories, coffee is what you would put in instead of gasoline. I still don't know what I want. You've been in here like 2 hours now?
Oh shit, every bit of it.
Okay, I want Kenn. Cool. I know what I want.
Let me see it. No.
Yeah, you got that one. All right. No, it looks like you're on break. Anyway, okay. I guess I want a 3-egg cheesesteak omelet and a side of 5 slices of bacon.
Do you guys still have the apple cinnamon waffle? Just a regular waffle.
We have peach waffles.
Nah, I don't like peach. Just a regular waffle.
Okay.
That's probably it.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh no, thank you. I'm good. Just coffee for me.
Break them.
And a bite of his bacon.
Do what?
And a bite of his bacon.
Just trying to build up a tolerance to it.
Yep. I'm just having it whenever it's available now.
I've never heard of bacon being an acquired taste before. I was saying to her earlier, I was like, if you had a car that instead of going from point A to point B, wrote stories as it traveled, coffee would be the fuel instead of gasoline.
Yes. Hey, so here's a point that we haven't brought up since we realized we needed to move the location of Raish's fortress. And last time I asked it was an irrelevant question because we couldn't do anything with it. But now it's in a new place.
Do you want hash browns or grits with your omelet?
Hash browns.
Now that it's in a new place, we need to address it. Batman is going to want to destroy the fuck out of that Lazarus pit.
Yeah.
We need to just figure out some way for him to do that when he walks away from Raish and Talia. And by the way, is this big chamber that they switch bodies in, like, nearby his throne
Yes.
room? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know how the Lazarus pit gets destroyed, and Batman doesn't need to do it.
Okay.
We just discussed early in this episode that the Lazarus pit is hooked up to a lower level than where that Abaddon thing goes.
Yeah.
The Abaddon goes into the Lazarus pit and screws it all up, along with ruining the entire Abaddon factory on the underlevel. That could kill the Lazarus pit.
Doesn't Raish jump into the Lazarus pit after Talia has sabotaged the Abaddon?
I don't think so. No,
Okay. Alright.
that's not the way I thought of it anyway.
Okay.
I thought that like him jumping into the Lazarus pit was going to be a cutoff, and then we go back to Talia, and that's where she comes back into the fray.
Okay. Alright.
I thought that'd be a good break.
So that could just be the signifier that she's sabotaged everything, is after he gets out of there.
Do you want onions in your omelet?
Yes, please.
After he jumps out, the signifier that she's succeeded is the Lazarus pit in the center of it starts like smoking or blows or whatever. And that's when he like starts to lose it even more or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lazarus pit makes him crazy.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much like he doesn't have any dialogue between when he jumps into the Lazarus pit and when Batman cuts him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, like there's no dialogue. He's pretty much just for a time becomes Bane almost, just
Right.
like an animal.
Dude, the last Bane in Arkham Origins is so hard.
Really?
It's not that hard, but it was annoying. It was a pain. You have to fight Bane like 3 or 4 times in that game. And the final one's really difficult. He's the last thing it's the last thing you do in the game.
Really?
Yeah. He's guarding Joker. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
How was it?
It's cool.
Pretty good story.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of just is. Yeah, it's a good story, but as far as gameplay goes, it just feels like it's becoming sort of formulaic, like the same as the last two, or at least the last one. Like,
But that's something that I kind of like though is when you have. I don't like too many gameplay changes because then it just feels weird. Like when you played
I don't want too many game. I'm not saying I want gameplay changes. I'm just saying it's sort of. I'm not doing anything new at all. I'm going around Gotham, beating up enemies on the ground, collecting things out in the city, playing through the story, and it's just there's nothing fresh about it except for the story. But the gameplay just feels like I was only playing gameplay to get through the story, but also I like to be Batman.
But it's like Sean played the Harry Potter games. Like the first 3 Harry Potter games were pretty much the same in terms of gameplay, and there were minor changes, but it was pretty similar. And then I guess around the turn of the 4th game, it somehow became like a Harry Potter themed first-person shooter.
That's weird.
This is the 4th and this is the 5th.
The fourth one is when they had this 4-line helicopter view, and you had all 4 of them, or all 3 of them, and you had to run around. And then the 5th and 6th were back to the way the old ones were, but more realistically done as a gameplay style. And then the 7 and 7 Part 2 were third-person shooters. They got weird.
Harry Potter is a first-person shooter. That's so funny.
I mean, I could see how that would be fun in any context other than trying to get through the story of that film.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like I could see that being a decent way to kill an afternoon as a standalone game.
Yeah. Some weird bizarro universe Harry Potter where he just is like Grand Theft Auto. He's in Muggletown and he just attacks everyone.
There is an interesting thing. Now, I only saw the first part of this fanfic. I don't know if it's been continued at all. It was a fanfic called Better Be Slytherin, where it literally starts off, like the first few paragraphs are verbatim from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, when he's sitting on the chair getting ready to be sorted by the Sorting Hat. And he's just like, he was afraid that they were gonna, like, not pick him for a house and they were just gonna send him home. And he's just like, any house, I just want to fit in. And he's like, well, if you've no preference, better be Slytherin. And it puts him in Slytherin. And the room stops. No noise. Like, everyone is just ridiculously surprised. And then, like, he looks up at Hagrid, and Hagrid just looks crestfallen, and it breaks Harry's heart. But he goes and sits over by the kid Theodore Nott, who later we find out his father is a Death Eater. And it was really he wrote it in J.K. Rowling's style. Like, it looked like it could be something from one of her books. And it was just so interesting. And then, I don't know if there was any further, but I thought of stuff that would end up happening based on that timeline. Because think about it. Harry could very easily, had he been sorted into Slytherin, become a Muggle hater. Look at the way his aunt, uncle, and cousin treated him. He's never met a Muggle who treated him well. He found out that the only people who ever treated him well were wizards. And he could very easily have been corrupted to Voldemort's view. And I was thinking about that, and so many different things would have happened. It's just like, Sirius Black would never have been revealed to have been innocent at all. Harry wouldn't.
Well, everything would have been different.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was thinking of all these different things and why they would be different. It was something to do with because Harry was never friends with Ron Weasley. They never found out that Peter Pettigrew was still alive.
Oh wow!
Because he was never friends with Fred and George. Nobody ever saw Peter Pettigrew on the Marauders map.
Right.
Daryl, what's going on?
What's up? Not much.
Just shooting a podcast, actually.
How about you?
Our friend Daryl just showed up.
Hello, podcast.
He's really tall. We call
You're
him.
really fiery.
Yeah, he's a tree and I'm on fire. We can't get too close to each other. It'll cause problems. But anyway, I noticed things like that. I still think that Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy would have ended up enemies. I mean, like, ever since they met, Draco Malfoy was just a dick.
Yeah.
So he would have Malfoy in his own. Thank you.
You're welcome, and I'll have some coffee right after.
Cool, thank you. And matter of factly, if he had been sorted into Slytherin, Voldemort might never have come back.
Wow.
Because
But he would have been out there in the Horcruxes.
he would have been out there in the Horcruxes, but he couldn't really do anything. But the thing is that Peter Pettigrew, having never been revealed as such, was never able to go back to Voldemort and nurse him back to health.
It's very true.
And that's something Voldemort needed.
Thanks for the bacon.
Look at you.
Reformed bacon eater. What's that? An omelet? That's weird. But we're at Waffle.
Valid point. I like the omelets.
Oh, I'm not coming down on you.
But then, I'm trying to think, because I had a lot of other really neat thoughts about this at work, and I couldn't remember what I had more.
I'm gonna slip my again.
Sean, we're socializing.
I'm sorry. I love socializing with you guys.
Harry Potter's name would have never been cast into the Goblet of Fire. He would have had nothing to do with that tournament.
It's almost as if everything that happened in that story happened the way it did for a certain reason.
But, like, if he had been sorted into Gryffindor or Slytherin, most of the bad shit in that book would have happened.
Wants to Gryffindor.
I wonder what else. What stories?
What turned out to be your favorite movie?
Huh?
Favorite movie?
Oh, this is a good one. Are we going to have another one of those so let's get to the point episodes in the middle of this?
No.
Well, thanks. I feel like this conversation is kind of podcast worthy.
No, definitely.
But yeah, the out of all of them, my favorite, because having just reread all the books and then watched all the movies, my favorite one in terms of faithfulness to the book
Has to be the second one. That is the only one that is 100% faithful to the book.
it isn't because of there's a bunch of shit they took out, the entire Valentine's Day thing, and then. But I can't think of anything. You're right, because I can't think anything
In my
that they kept
recollection,
in and
they didn't
changed.
change anything. They didn't replot it at all.
They changed a lot more than I thought they did in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Which, to me, as a movie unrelated to the books, works best as a standalone movie.
Yeah, like Prisoner of Azkaban was probably my favorite movie just as a movie.
Did you see Gravity this year?
Not yet.
Oh yeah, we talked about one. Sorry, same director.
Yeah. In terms of an emotional thrill ride, which movie hit me the hardest, definitely Hallows Part 2. Like, I spent a good third of the running time of that movie crying like a baby.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Oh man, no, it was nuts.
I kind of like Part 1 more when I saw it. But, I don't know, my experiences were so singular and only in theaters and so far removed from the books.
No, I'll tell you what, when Deathly Hallows Part 1, the first time I saw it, I didn't care much for it. Just because it was a movie that kind of went without an ending. But when I when I first saw it, it had been literally like 3 years since I read the book. Because I think I read the book a couple of months after it came out. The library got it, and I read it there. And then that was it. I didn't read it again. I've only read that book 2 times. So when I watched the movie the second time after just having read the book, I thought that the way the movie did things for a lot of stuff was a lot better than the book. For example, when Harry and Hermione went to Godric's Hollow, in the book, they had the Polyjuice potion disguised as Muggles from just a neighboring village. In the movie, they didn't. And Hermione says, I think we should use the potion, Harry. And he's like, no, I was born here. I'm not coming here as a different person. And I thought that was such a good change from the book. Because, like, he's sitting there in the book, he's sitting there at his parents' graves, and tears rolling from his eyes.
Yeah.
But he's like this old Muggle man.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
That works in the book because she can still tell you how he feels. But on screen, you're looking at him and you're like, that's not Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, after watching it the second time, that was the thing, I'd only seen Deathly Hallows Part 1 twice, too. Or the one time until I saw it again recently.
Yeah.
And I had a much higher opinion of that movie the second time I saw it. They should have reintroduced Dobby long before then, though. It was like he was cut out of the 4th, 5th, and 6th movies entirely. And so it loses a lot of its impact. And I think the movies kind of fell a little bit until we got back to the Deathly Hallows. Like,
Yeah.
And,
I don't know, I like Half-Blood Prince as well, but I didn't love it.
Half-Blood Prince, I think, was my least favorite of the movies.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it was like, at the end of the Order of the Phoenix, they didn't explain, like, they didn't actually say anything about that prophecy until Harry quotes it. Harry quotes the prophecy, but that's it. No other mention of it is made, other than them having it fighting through the Department of Mysteries for it, but no other mention of what was in there was made.
That's my least favorite book.
Mm-hmm.
Order of the Phoenix.
I don't think I actually have a least favorite book. I liked all the books.
Well, I mean, I like them too, but it was the only one I felt like I wish something had happened at any point. But we had this discussion when we talked about the woman getting raped by the centaurs.
Oh yeah, but then it was like they didn't explain the prophecy at all in the Order of the Phoenix film. And what got me about the Half-Blood Prince was they added a lot to the movie Half-Blood Prince. Like there was a lot of stuff. The thing about
wasn't that when they had to remake it into PG? They had to convert it back to PG or something. Like, weren't they allowed to make it PG-13 for a while, and for Half-Blood Prince they had to make it PG?
I don't think any of them were PG-13.
Yeah, they were.
Were they? Anyway.
Okay.
The Deathly Hallows Part 2 was probably PG-13 now that I think of it.
Yeah. Maybe none of them were, but I remember there being some deal about the ratings.
But like in the Half-Blood Prince movie, they added a lot. The little thing about they added a lot to Professor Slughorn. He had a couple of little anecdotes talking about like this hourglass thing that he had. The sand flowed different according to the quality of the conversation. He also had a little story about Harry's mom and a fish that these weren't in the book. And then they added this scene where the burrow was on fire, where they came and burned down the burrow that didn't happen in the book and basically just detracted from Harry's character. I mean, I thought it did. I thought it removed some of his character's integrity. It was just like Bellatrix Lestrange just came and taunted him, and that was it.
I remember that.
That was all it took. And then he ran out, and it was just like, no matter how bad decision-making Harry was in the book, he never would have done that. He's smart enough not to do that. So, but they added all these scenes in the book and they cut out Dumbledore's funeral.
Yeah.
That was an incredibly important part of that book. The most important part, I thought. Because it set the tone for... I mean, they just replaced it with the same ending. It had the exact same ending as the Goblet of Fire. The exact same. Harry, Hermione, and Ron are all sitting there on the same ledge of Hogwarts Castle, having a discussion about how everything is going to be different, and then they watch something fly away.
And the next movie has the same ending.
Exactly.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Coincidentally, Goblet of Fire and Half-Blood Prince were my least favorite films.
Yeah,
Dude, Goblet of Fire, I remember when that came out and being so disappointed by it.
me too. I even waited to see it in IMAX.
I think I saw that the same day I saw Walk the Line. I saw Walk the Line first, and it was amazing. And then me and some friends went into Goblet of Fire, and so bored.
Yeah,
Hillary fell asleep.
I believe it.
Man. See, I didn't find it boring.
She never read the books and never saw any of them.
I just thought they did it wrong.
Yeah.
They did.
I mean, it was supposed to be a really dark book, and they turned it into a comedy.
Yeah.
I don't like any of the movies nearly as much as the books. When I think of Harry Potter, it's the books.
I liked some of the movies better. Like, I think I liked the Deathly Hallows Part 1, the movie, better than the first half of the book.
That's insane to me. That is so insane. Those movies are surprisingly well done for movie adaptations of books, but they're nowhere near in quality. Like that's like saying those movies are like it's close to like Star Wars quality or Godfather quality of classics, because that's what those books are.
Well, no, because see, I love the Harry Potter books. Don't get me wrong; it's one of my favorite book series ever.
Yeah.
That being said, in the end of it, they are still children's literature.
You can put anybody
You
can
can
put
tell.
whatever next to whatever shelf they want. It's just a great piece of art.
Oh no, I think they're great. I'm not trying to detract
I
from
know,
it,
I know.
but I think. Thank you much.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think so.
I'm okay, thank you.
I can take that out of your
I also think I like Chamber of Secrets, the film, better than I like the book.
That's fair.
Just because there was a lot of stuff in Chamber of Secrets that the movie cut out that I didn't really like anyway.
It's just streamlined perfect as a movie. That's why it's my favorite adaptation.
But yeah, I say as a film, I like Prisoner of Azkaban the best.
Yeah.
But like from a pure film critic standpoint.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely.
Deathly Hallows Part 2 is the most moving, with a surprising follow-up from with a surprising runner-up being Deathly Hallows Part 1. Though there was one part that really hit me in The Sorcerer's Stone that had never hit me before. Like, I was surprised. Like, I teared up. Like, for the first time. I've seen that movie, God, 15 times. And it just never hit me how important this scene was. When Harry was looking into the mirror of Erised at his parents, in the movie you sort of don't get this, but in the book he had never, like it stated, he had never seen even a picture of his parents before at all, and he looked in the mirror and instantly recognized who they were. And it's like, the movie by itself isn't that powerful, but in
The book, I remember
it
them
was
saying
like in conjunction with the book.
Yeah.
I was sad as shit. It was like, man, that was I mean, they got that scene right.
That's
like,
awesome.
I mean, because it's such a big thing in Harry's life is that he had never known of his parents,
Right.
And that scene was just I felt for him. In the books, you sort of just take his. You just sort of take for granted that, okay, Harry has always known his parents to be dead, and that was it. Because he never really knew them, it's like, it's like there's nothing really for him to miss. But then you realize that's what he's missing, is knowing them. He wishes he could have, and that's something that I never really thought about or connected as part of his character, but it's a lot bigger a deal than I gave it credit for.
Yeah, man. I love how much she builds a story, builds a world, like having a sort of general idea of where she wanted to go with all of it, but just really like making it work, really making every little moment work.
You know what I found out? There was this dude, he wrote a trilogy of books, and I think he got them published. I think he managed to get them published because basically wrote a series of 3 books about Harry's oldest son, James, with something going on at Hogwarts. And he wrote these just for his wife and kids.
Yeah.
But he decided, oh, okay, well, let me see what I can do about releasing these. And I don't think he sold them, but he just got it, published insofar as that nobody could edit it.
Huh.
And J.K. Rowling threatened to sue when she heard about it. But then he sent her a copy of the book, and he's just like, well, read it. Read it before you make any decision. And she was like, and then she gave the project her blessing.
Wow, that's awesome. What an honor. That's like Paul Dini liking our movie.
Mm-hmm. See, that is my biggest fear right now, is that I think this project, especially after we have a couple of the guest stars that we want on here, will get a little more recognition than it's got.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, especially if Film Critic Hulk gets on here.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
I don't know.
No pun intended.
No, pun intended. Pun intended.
No, it wasn't intended. It was just perfect.
Change your intent to where it is.
Oh, I'm clever.
All in the editing. But because I don't know, how many listeners does Golly Geek have? I mean, they're a reasonably popular podcast, right?
I know before they got signed to Screen Invasion, which was within the past 2 months, they had 200 subscribers independently, around that. Mm-hmm. Which means people who'd listen every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a pretty decent number.
Yeah, if we impress them enough with them being on our show, there's no doubt that they'll put us on their show. Or at least when I'm already, well, they probably won't put us on their show because I just remembered, and this isn't me being shitty just because I brought it up like that, but I just remembered that in February they told me I could be back on just as a general guest talking about whatever they're talking about and to talk about the comedy thing I'm doing. So I'll be able to plug Project Batman that way anyway, and they'll have read it and be way more involved in discussing it at that point.
Right.
And that'll be a year after I went on the show talking about it the first time, where I was like, we're going to write a script, and now I'll come back and be like, we wrote a script. And I'll have the website up by then, and I'll be like, everybody go on and read it.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all still doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're doing great.
Can I just go ahead and give this to you? Okay, thank you.
But yeah, but
I think it's so cool that you met those guys and just hung out with them.
Oh, good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Really nice guys.
I bet. But yeah, going back to what I was saying before, I think that eventually, especially if we get a screenplay up and going, the people can just up and read and be like, man, this is quality work here.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that'll give us some really good recognition. I mean, just in terms of that. And I don't think it's 100% chance by far, but there is a
chance.
I think there is a chance that someone from higher up will, involved with the animated series anyway, will take notice of this.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because if it's good when we release it,
yeah,
and
which we're not releasing it if it's not.
That's a good point. When we release it, because it'll be good, it will. When people see it, I think that people are going to see this and be like, "Hey, check this out."
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, hell, they watched. Didn't Kevin Smith watch that other fan film?
Yeah, and it was shitty.
Yeah.
He would watch the fuck out of ours over and over and talk about it nonstop. I guarantee you, he would love it. I just know.
Love to see him do
That's
a commentary on that one.
That's my goal, is just to get him to like it.
Yeah, Steve.
And if he likes it, he'll be on the podcast.
Like if we got
that's my goal.
Yeah, no, that's. I think if we got there, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And we should definitely send it to him.
I will tweet it at him the second it's available, and every day until he responds. And then every day until he promotes it. And then every day until he has us on the podcast.
I think we should get people to tweet, hey, Kevin Smith, watch this shit.
Oh, I will get people to tweet.
But then, could you imagine? Yeah, I mean, I'm just having delusions of grandeur here.
That's the only way you get anything done, man.
Yeah, it's like he has us on there as a guest with Paul Dini.
That would be...
Like, we could
That'd be
actually...
the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
Now, people usually go there and...
To Kevin's
Talk with-
house. Yes.
That's where it is?
Yes.
Could you imagine if we got to go to Kevin Smith's house?
I mean, crazy thoughts like these are what drives my everyday decisions. I just don't like saying them out loud. For fear of being judged and or jinxing myself. And now, jinxing you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, my biggest fear is that someone will see that we're doing this
Tell us not to.
and tell us not to.
Nobody can tell us not to, though. It's totally...
Couldn't
Nobody...
they?
It says fandom all over
Yeah,
it.
we're not making any money off of it. There's so many fan films of Batman on YouTube right now. Go to YouTube and type Batman fan film. You can release
Ours
whatever
is pretty specific, though.
you can release whatever you want for free. If you can release fanfic, that is art about a specific, like, tailored, commercialized, licensed product. But you're allowed to make up whatever you want, as long as that person who wrote the fanfic isn't getting 99 cents every time somebody reads it.
Yeah.
As long as we don't make money off of it, we can do whatever we want. Thank you. I just experienced the joy of a puppy. You had that left over and I get it? You're giving that to me?
Yeah, I would love to listen to him do a commentary on our movie.
I don't know if he'd do that. It'd be more of an honor for him just to talk to us about it.
But what if he did?
I mean, he would do it with us.
Oh man, I'm imagining that podcast, you know? Someone took your Prius. Must have needed the bathroom.
What?
It was a running joke.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have that.
How is Christian doing? I can't wait to have him on the podcast again.
Yeah. It's been a while.
He's alright.
He says some funny ass shit.
He's crazy. He's wondering what to do with his life. He's beginning to hate that paper route that used to be mine, and I'm like, I know, right?
I'm sure.
I mean, he'll do the podcast. He'll be his crazy self. He'll probably be internally jealous that he's doing it with Joe, who's actually produced something that's online that people can watch. And so he'll try to talk over Joe's opinions. Not consciously, of course. Sorry, Christian.
That pilot was really good, though.
I still haven't seen it. I haven't had a spare fucking hour to watch something. I'm sorry.
That's cool. I don't care.
But I want to watch it.
I don't.
I'm more apologizing to myself.
If I wrote and directed it, then I would be more like, I wish my friends would watch it. I just did a favor for Joe. I just happened to be in it.
I gotta say, his camera work, though, was pretty fucking incredible when I was watching it.
For a first feature out of film school, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I've seen some shit from film students, like just boring.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's pretty self-indulgent and masturbatory at times.
Sure.
But it's okay.
So are we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 podcasts. That's the name of it. That's how I live my life. Today I edited 2 podcasts, and one of them, before pre-edit, was 2 hours and 48 minutes long. I know. And I did that podcast last night. So I've lived in podcast zone since I saw you guys last.
Well, are we about ready?
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta
Say a Project Batman line from our script.
Batman does not eat waffles.
say.